Saturday morning class got changed to what?
Huh?
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
How y'all doing today?
Good.
We are ISBHPK. We are broadcasting live from YouTube. We're located at 8524 South Braidwood Boulevard, Houston, Texas. We have class hours Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 10, and then Sabbath class has been changed Friday, 6 to 9. And then, of course, we have Saturday morning Sabbath class, which is from 10 to 2. If you guys got any questions, we are broadcasting live. Feel free to hit us up at any time. If you have any questions outside of the topic. Tonight's topic will be about drinking. So for the first hour, we will be answering questions. We also have a food drive for Saturday after Sabbath class at 2 o'clock for the community. If anybody wants to come out, feel free to stop by, socialize, bring the kids. We definitely are out here feeding, the people and try to stay on top of that. So if you're in the area, Houston area, man, feel free to stop by, come and see us. For the most part, like I said, the first hour is for questions. So if y'all got any questions, definitely feel free to hit us up. We also accept donations. If you guys have anything, books, pens, papers, whatever you might have, it all helps. It all goes to a worthy cause. It actually goes to the brothers and sisters who come in and they may not have the necessary resources to study. And if you guys would like to help out financially, we also have a Wells Fargo account at 10158066167. Again, that is 10158066167. We ask also that you like, share, and subscribe to all our videos so we can get the word out there. And for the first hour, we will be taking questions for class. So if we'll give it a couple minutes, give the feed a couple minutes to catch up and see if we got any questions. How y'all feeling?
It's wild.
How was that trip?
It's wild, man. It's
It was
wild.
good. A lot of brothers, a lot of sisters. That's what's up.
New family members.
Yeah, big ups to New Orleans, man. Our brothers out there doing it big. Baton Rouge, right? That's what's up, man. A lot of brothers and sisters out there. We just came from Dallas. A lot of brothers and sisters out there, definitely. Dedicated, man, ready to study, ready to listen, ready to be taught. So definitely keep pushing the word, keep pushing the truth. Make sure you study. Definitely make sure you study. The devil, he studies. He studies you. Wakes up early in the morning and studies us. So, man, we got to make sure we're studying the Most High's word. Con?
God.
How we looking at questions?
None so far, sir.
All right, let's see what we got online.
Okay, I got one.
Is it online?
No, wow.
Oh, okay. Well, let's give it like 2-3 minutes and see before you ask your question. Let's see what we got on here. Once again, we're just giving a couple minutes to give the feed a couple minutes to catch up. So once again, if you guys got any questions, this is a live chat. Feel free to hit us up off the topic before we begin class. Like I said, the first hour, we make sure we dedicate that to answering questions. So feel free to ask anything outside of class.
S.O.W. Anybody got any questions in here? Yes, sir.
Okay, so you know how we have the three categories of men: sons of wicked,
Right.
sons of the Most High,
Right.
sons of men.
Uh-huh.
So, like, well, basically, I'm looking for examples. Like, would the sons of man would be like Abel, like a son of man?
No, there would be, remember that's, when you go through Genesis, what did you have there? You had Adam, right? You had the nations, right? Which were doing at that time wickedness, right? So as you go further down to Adam's line, you had Adam, and then you had that spirit of Cain, right? Then you had the nations, right? So this is what eventually came about, right? The spirit of Cain, the spirit of the devil, right? You're of your father the devil, the lust of your father do. He was a murderer from the beginning, right? So that spirit of Satan was there. So the nations follow whatever power is there, whatever is ruling, right? Like when David's in power, who did they follow? David. You know what I mean? But when a wicked king came into power, they follow that. Right? When the earth is in the Most High's power, who is he going to follow? Who is the nations going to follow?
The Most High.
Right now, when they're in wickedness, who are they going to follow?
The wicked.
So the nations are just like, they follow whoever, but there's battles between good and evil.
Right.
The battles between righteous and the wicked. Right? And the nations are just, I'll be on whoever's side, whoever's ruling at that time.
Right.
So that's where that comes from.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Remember, you know, it was only in Genesis, the sons of God, right? That slept with the daughters of men, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay. So they were the righteous.
Okay.
Okay? Then you had the nations there, but they weren't known as nations.
Right.
Right? They were just man.
Right.
Right. Then you got the wicked, which was Satan's seed.
Okay.
Right? Without getting too deep.
Right. So right. Okay. But that's how you would categorize it.
That's how you categorize it. But remember, that's because we have understanding what was going on during that time.
Right. Got it.
That's for them that understand what was going on during that time. You know, knowing that came from Cain, that spirit of Cain was there.
Right.
All right.
But why did you ask that question?
Just something that came in my head. The way I was looking at it was, the way I looked at it, you had Adam, you had Cain, you had Abel. That's the way I was looking at it.
You had Adam, Cain, and Abel.
Cain and Abel. So Adam was like the son, like the.
But remember, when you go back to the Genesis breakdown, you had the trees of the garden,
Right.
the other nations, right? So they were there too.
Right. Yeah, I've been going over the text, so.
Right.
So that's the whole Genesis, so kind of popped in my head.
They were there too, so we can't count them out.
Right. So, okay.
Go ahead.
No, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
That category is just for us that understand what was happening during that time.
Right.
You know, and how the nations just kind of sway to whoever is in power, who's ruling. You see that? That's where that comes from. So at this time, when you're taking the what? Up to 50?
Well, I'm looking over the Officer 100.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's what understanding.
Yeah.
You know, as you're going over that, you're understanding from a wider perspective of the Bible. Yeah.
So a lot of scriptures that I do read when it talks about like the sons of men, it always talks about them being like doing evil. You see what I'm saying? Like transgressing the laws and.
Well, now, it depends on where we're going, because now remember, Ezekiel was called the Son of Man. Christ was called the Son of Man. So, in context, what are we talking about? We talking about the nations? You see that?
Yeah.
Where you going back to Genesis?
Ah.
Because remember, during that time, before these nations start to have names, right? They were just man. Right? Adam, the Adamites, men, right? And then you got Satan too, though. You got Satan came through who, though? Or through Cain, right? That spirit of Cain.
Right.
Yeah. That's where that comes from.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
If somebody we care about needs a kidney, are we allowed to donate our kidney to them? The donor?
If they your family, yeah, why not? To help them out, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, that you want to get into the technicality of it, you know, like if you were dying and somebody could save you, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
We have a question online.
All right, question online. What do we got?
I already had my left ear pierced about 8 years ago. I was unsure to get it done then, and I never planned to get the others done. However, I should not wear any earring at all anyway, correct?
Mm-mm. The Bible, we wore earrings in the Bible. We go to Isaiah 3. And you can go to Exodus. We wore earrings. It's okay to wear earrings. We just, when you get into all the piercings, we didn't do that. Like, we didn't do these African piercings. We didn't like pierce our, start piercing our titties, man or woman, breasts, if you want to call them that. Tongues, we didn't do that. Nipples.
We didn't do the, that thing everybody's doing.
Yeah, that's from Ham.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do stuff like that. We pierced our ears and our nose. That's all the scripture talk about. It didn't say, we're gonna find out, it didn't say her tongue ring was glistening in Hebrew. You know what I mean? It didn't say that. You know what I mean? That just reminded me, I put up at a Smoothie King, and she was like, just like sucking on it, like you're selling me a smoothie and sucking on your tongue ring. You know what I mean? But we didn't do that. So read that, Isaiah 3.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 1.
Isaiah 3 and
21. It speaks of the rings and nose jewels.
Isaiah 3 and start at 16.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet.
Right, so now we're understanding that you have, when the scripture says in 1 Peter 3, that a woman must have modest apparel. Well, it wasn't that we didn't wear these things, it was that, like it says in Peter's, that these women, the men were supposed to take pride in the inward man, not in the outward appearance. After the man of the hidden heart, right? The spiritual man. So you got, during this time, the Israelite women, they were doing like we're doing now. You know what I mean? They're haughty with all their piercings, with their jewelry, with their hair, with their makeup. It's more about the outward appearance. So the Most High said, okay, now this is your pride. You're taking pride in your outward appearance more than the spiritual. So the daughters of women, the daughters of Zion were haughty. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Therefore the Lord...
Listen. You do this to me a lot. When we talk about a point, reiterate the point. Bring it right back to the scripture. All right? All right, go ahead.
The daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks.
So the stretched forth necks is that haughty type of spirit. You know, that prideful, no humility. I want to look in your face. You know what I mean? I'll stare you down. You know what I mean? I'll go to war with a man. That prideful mentality. I'll put my head up. You know what I mean? I'm switching because I know I got tight jeans on. That type of haughtiness. Like I know my butt is filled out in these jeans. Now I'm going to walk like I got something in my butt. It's a whole spirit, a whole vibration that comes with that. So that haughty spirit. Go ahead.
And wanton eyes.
Right, wanton eyes. So did y'all look up the word wanton before? Oh. And wanton eyes. See, so as we get that definition, wanton, when I looked that up, this is the difference between a it says in 1 Peter 3. So, and this is a good chapter because it goes over all those things that you're supposed to wear, that you don't supposed to wear. You know, because it's not in here. You know, a lot of people, it's going to point out a lot of things that a lot of people didn't know we wore. So, you got wanton?
Go
ahead, what you got?
Sexually lawless or unrestrained.
Yeah, so sexually lawless or unrestrained. So their eyes, I mean, wow, if that's not a word that describes what is going on today with our women, you know, that word right there describes what our women and how they are. You know, how many times have you went to the gym or the mall and it's just like an unrestrained attitude? It's like they don't care. I had a girl yesterday, you know what I mean? She had on, we was at the gym, but she had on the short leggings. I don't know what they're called. The shorts, but like leggings. What are those called? I don't know. It might as well be. It's like pum shorts. It's just like the leggings, but shorts. And she was just, and she was full. She was a voluptuous woman. She was very full. And she just got right in front of me and did squats. And I'm thinking like, dang, you ain't, like, you bold. But that's the spirit, the haughty spirit. It's like, I have no respect about myself that this guy is finna see my intestines. You know what I mean? That wanting, lustful, cocky, prideful spirit. Go ahead.
Walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet.
Go ahead.
Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head.
Right, so now he goes into the curses. The curse is that he's going to chop off your hair. So what did he do to the black woman? He chopped off her hair. What did he do to the Israelite woman? He chopped off their hair. Go ahead.
Of the head of the daughters of Zion.
Right, that's why I keep trying to figure out why any black woman says, yeah, I cut it so it can grow. Like, every time they cut their hair, it never grows back. Like, from a kid, if you just let it grow and take care of it, you'll be fine. Once you cut it, it's done.
That's it.
That's it.
End of the show.
Yeah, you're looking like me now. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry. Verse 17, last precept.
Mhm.
And the Lord will discover their secret parts.
Right, so this is a curse. So this is a curse. But it's going to answer your question. We're going into it. It's going to answer your question. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments.
Right, so it's not that these ornaments are wrong. It's that now you took bravery in them. That's your pride. The way you look. The 50 pounds of makeup you wear on your face. You know what I mean? I keep saying it. Makeup is a curse.
God.
Because it's a straight up lie. You don't look like that.
And they cake it on.
And they badly. Some women, it's getting worse and worse and worse. So that haughty spirit, they don't know about humility. Because you got to be humble. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Alicia Keys is righteous, but she's on the no makeup movement, and she's walking around with no makeup. I think she looks fabulous.
God, natural is good, man.
Yeah, she looks natural. Yeah, you're a pretty woman. I respect you the same way, as opposed to you pounding this makeup on your face and you really don't look like that. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen her? She's doing the no makeup movement. Yeah, she looks fine.
Then when you see the people that got makeup on their face, they got that masculine edge in the jaw. They wear they airbrush the makeup and pull it up and put the. We see this all day in the mall, man. It's so masculine. It's almost like how a homosexual looks. How everything
Like
is
the transvestite.
How everything is sharp. Like the cheekbones are sharp. The eyelashes sharp. Everything is sharp, and it looks fake.
It looks like a tranny. It's that kind of like the tranny makeup. They're adapting to themselves. Go ahead.
About their feet
Uh-huh.
and their calls.
Right. So when you start to go into these, I want you to get the definitions. When you start to go into these, this is a good chapter to see what we did wear, what the women wore, and we're going to see that men wore earrings also. So it kind of points out these things. Obviously, men didn't wear, you're not going to wear like a foot bracelet. You know what I mean? Like a man's not going to do that. But these customs, these things we did wear. All right, so it says the calls. Go ahead, what's that? You got the definition?
It says, a cap or hat of net formerly worn by women.
Right. A cap or what?
Or net formerly worn by women.
Right, so like, like the,
Like a veil.
like a veil, but I think, because it goes down and speaks about the veil, I think this is more like a covering, but a little net covering.
Oh.
Sort of like, look at her headpiece right there, but it's like a net, you can see through it.
It's real feminine too.
Right, real feminine.
It's not something a man would wear.
Nah, a man ain't gonna wear that. Go ahead.
And their round tires like the moon.
Right, the round tires like the moon was their earrings. You know what I mean? So Israel got down back then. You know what I mean? Just like where you think they got it from today. The black woman, those round earrings. The women look good. There's nothing wrong with that. But they didn't take pride in that. They didn't try to overdo it and pound it on. Go ahead.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
The chains and the bracelets.
So you did wear chains. You wore bracelets. Go ahead.
And the mufflers.
Right, the mufflers. It says, spangled ornaments. Look that word up, see what else we got on that. It says spangled ornaments.
I got one.
What you got?
It says a scarf worn around one's neck for warmth.
What's that? For mufflers?
God.
Okay.
Because I have underwears, scarves, and gloves.
Okay. Underwear, scarf, and mufflers. So, a scarf right? They got all of the swag from Israel anyway. Go ahead.
The bonnets and the
The
ornaments.
bonnets. What's a bonnet? Y'all still wear that today, right?
Yeah, it's a head covering, but it's, you know, you can tie it behind or it ties up the neck.
Right. There you go. So we wore that. There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead.
And the ornaments of the legs.
Right.
And the headbands.
Right. So we wore the headbands. So women, you have women headbands. You have men headbands. So some of these things you see that they had an effeminate touch to it. Like the headbands, we wore that. The priests wore that. The brothers wore that. They wore the headbands. Go ahead.
And the tablets.
The tablets. What do they got on there for the tablets? You know how the brothers start making those, the Ariah has. He got the little tablet, but he got the stones in it, representing the 12 tribes of Israel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like those, like tablets. Right? We wore that. We wore jewelry, man. We had flavor. We had soul. Go ahead.
And the earrings.
Right, there you go. So we wore the earrings. Once again, this is talking about women, but also we know men wore earrings too. We're gonna go. You got that one?
Yeah, I got a couple.
You got the one in Exodus about the men wearing earrings?
Exodus 32.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 32.
No. Finish reading, sir. Stay with us.
Verse 21. The rings and nose jewels.
Right. So you see that? The rings. We wore rings and we wore nose jewels. So yes, the women wore the nose earrings. There was nothing wrong with that. That's not unlawful. See, but as we read down, it don't say the tongue rings, the eyelid piercings. You know, that's when you start getting into the
No Prince Alberts, no.
right, Prince Alberts, the penis piercings. You know what I mean? We didn't do that. The cheeks, we didn't do that.
Yeah, we didn't split our tongues down the middle and put balls in between.
talk to them.
Yeah, we didn't split our tongues down the middle and put balls in them like they do.
Right, make them look like snakes.
Yeah, we didn't do that stuff. That's a new thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is good. Very good question, because a lot of people don't know what we wore biblically, and then at the same time, they don't know that they don't know what is lawful and unlawful. Go ahead.
22. The changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crispin pins, the glasses,
Right.
and the fine linen,
Right.
and the hoods,
There you go.
and the veils.
Right. So you wore hoods, you wore veils, you wore all that. So that's let me touch on the question, which is the earrings. So it's okay to wear earrings. The Most High is showing them, don't take pride in that. That's when we go back to 1 Peter 3. Don't take pride in the physical appearance. But we wore them. You know? Okay, so where you at?
You want the man one first?
Yeah.
Exodus 32 and verse 2.
Is that a woman or a man asking this question? I assumed it was.
Robert Sanders.
Huh?
Robert Sanders.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it still answers this question. I just should have asked that earlier. So what is it? Exodus what?
32 and verse 2 through 4.
Exodus chapter 32, verse 2. And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron.
So, start at verse 2 again. This is Exodus chapter 32 and verse 2.
Exodus chapter 32.
I think you just start at verse 1.
Exodus chapter 32, verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which
So, if y'all familiar with the story, you know this is when Moses went to go get the commandments from the Most High, and the people got restless, and they started taking their jewelry off to get to making this golden calf. So, he's explaining right now some of the things that the men actually wore. Go ahead.
which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we would not what has become of him.
So they're once again faithless. Israel going through their situations like always, being faithless, not paying attention to what Moses already established. So now they're getting restless. So these Israelites are taking their jewelry off so that they can have enough jewelry to make this calf. Go ahead.
And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters.
You see that? So he's showing you our wives wore earrings, our sons and our daughters wore earrings. So this is not an uncommon thing. We wasn't stretching our earlobes to have like 2.5 inch gauged
African loops.
yeah, that was
See, if you could throw some of that, I don't know, I know you get busy over there, but if you could throw some of that on there, show them we didn't do that.
yeah, we definitely didn't do that.
But we got that sign here? Where's that African sign? Grab that African sign. Because this is a good question, man. A lot of young brothers and sisters don't know what we wore, how we wore it. And it's getting so ridiculous. It's to the point to where, you know, the lines are, I keep saying it, being drawn together. Where it's like, well, it's not a big deal.
It's like pressing the envelope to see what they can get away with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we throw this out there and they don't say nothing, then we'll come back with this.
Right.
And it's just more wickedness, man. Read verse 3.
Verse 3. And all the people brake off the golden earrings, which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron.
Read it again.
Verse 3. And all the people brake off the golden earrings, which were in their ears.
So it wasn't just a select type of people that was wearing earrings. You had all the people of Israel wore
Men and women.
men, women, children. You know, even growing up as a kid, you know, a man wore an earring. Like that was like my pops took me to my earrings.
Right.
So that was like that thing right there. It was like,
You're a man.
you're a man now. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that's what it was. It was certain things that validated us back in the day, you know, what was considered being a man. You know, it's like getting that hair on your chin or getting that beard. You like, oh, I got the earring. And then you had to be careful, because back then, you could only wear it on one side. Like if you got it pierced on the left, they looked at you weird. If you wore it on the right, you know, they came with all that weird stuff, but the moral of the story is we always wore jewelry, man. We've been wearing jewelry since the beginning. Go ahead.
And brought them unto Aaron, and he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a garden tool.
So, you know, to answer that question, yeah, we did wear earrings. Go to Proverbs 25, verse 12. Proverbs 25 and 12.
25 and 12?
Yes, sir.
Proverbs chapter 25, verse 12.
Everybody got it?
God.
Read that.
As an earring of gold, and an ornament of...
Wait, do y'all got it?
God.
So, don't move too fast. Wait till everybody get it. Y'all got it?
God.
Go ahead, read that.
Proverbs chapter 25, verse 12. As an earring of gold, and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear.
See that? The Most High knows something bad. He wouldn't use that scenario or that
Reference.
to, you know, it's beautiful when you got a nice pair of earrings on, it shines, you see it, you know, it's like a 2-carat earring in your ear, man. You see that sparkle, that's how wisdom is to a man that's wise. You know how he
I had
carries
to stop wearing them. I done lost so many diamond earrings.
Oh, bro.
I was like,
Yeah.
I lost every diamond earring I had. I stopped. I was like, man.
Plumbers came up because I lost them in the shower. I lost
Right.
them ways. snatch them out.
Go to sleep with them. You don't want to take them off, so you go to sleep with them, but you lose them in your sleep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Go to Ezekiel, did we do Ezekiel 16:12?
Yeah. Let me see that. Is that it? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, let me see that.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 11.
See, this right here. Yeah, I mean, this is where we start going off with the loops. You see how the lip is? Let me see.
Oh, look at her right there.
Yeah, you see, this is Ham, man. These are the Africans. I don't know, is that on camera a little bit? You see, she's punching, what's she punching, holding on her breasts?
I can't tell.
What is she doing right there?
Oh, she's getting a tattoo, some,
Yeah.
paint. on her.
That's where all the tattoos, where it says, mar not your head or your beard, they were literally taking a blade
Yeah.
to the corners of their beards,
Cutting into their flesh.
cut into their flesh. So, yeah, so, see, so that's where those loops came from, man. Those big loops, the gauges, what you call them?
Yeah, they're called gauge. You got inch gauge, inch and a half. I mean, it's getting retarded. It's getting to where you ain't got no ear left. You just got this stretchy, look like an inner tube.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing to him. They're pushing that penis. That came from him, man. That's why the Most High said don't deal with these other nations, because when we deal with them, we start following their customs, their beliefs. And now it's common. So for us to talk against it, it's like, well, why not? I don't see nothing wrong with, a belly button piercing. Well, where does it get you? You want to pierce your belly button, then you want to pierce your booty hole. You know what I mean? Then you want to pierce your nipples. You know what I mean?
It don't stop.
It don't stop.
Definitely don't stop. Go to Ezekiel 16:12.
Ezekiel chapter 16, we're going to start from 11.
Where did you just go to right now in Proverbs?
25 and 12.
Proverbs 25 and 12, yeah.
Yes, sir. And then do Ezekiel 16 and verse, you can start at verse 10.
Verse 10.
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 10. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and showed thee with badger's skin, and girded thee about fine linen, and I covered thee with silk.
So this is the Most High talking about the things that he's done for us. So if you're familiar with this story, he's referring to us like a woman. And he's talking about how he clothed us and how he dealt with us. And these are some of the things that he put on us.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
I decked thee also with ornaments.
The ornaments, which if you were to look at chains, bracelets, you know how people wear those bracelets that have like the little things hanging from them, like you might have a graduation cap, you might have a heart, you might have, your 2 kids on here. Remember, we didn't invent anything. Just because Esau sold it don't mean they did. We've been having these things. So ornaments is one of the things that we had, read.
I put bracelets upon thy hands.
So that we weren't poor. We had bracelets. We had jewelry. We had things that beautified us. Read.
And a chain on thy neck.
Read.
And I put a jewel on thy forehead.
So the Middle East people, they didn't invent the diamond right here or ruby on your forehead. They didn't make that. That came from us. But see what happened when we got off the slave ship, the first thing they did was strip us from what we were.
Right.
And now it's about Fubu and Sean John and, it's about true religion. Fubu, you're old school. The image, all that. Cross colors, here, they look like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, but our beauty was given to us by the Most High. That's why when you see these Middle Eastern people, you're like, oh, she looks so good. I wish I could be like that. And it's like, you were that. You're thinking backwards. They're being like, they took ours and they laugh at us when we sat in our pants.
Yeah.
When our women wearing sweatpants and hoodies, when they're wearing stretch pants, you don't see the you see these people in the Middle East when they come over here, they got that humble outfit on. They beautify themselves with the chain that go around their head, with the jewel.
Until America strips them,
Yeah, until America waters them down.
whores them out,
Yeah.
gives them a new concept,
Yeah. Liberates them.
gives them democracy.
Oh, yeah,
That's the ideal, right? We're gonna give you democracy. You're free now.
yeah. You don't have to cover your head and pray.
Yeah. You don't have to wear all that.
That's restraint. The men don't have to do it.
You know, some of those women, man, you gotta admire some of the women that be into that Muslim stuff, man. Cause I heard one woman say, I like not driving. I like wearing my head covered. You know what I mean? But there's a lot that are over there that are forced too. You know, but that's how it has to be in you. You gotta wanna do it. You gotta wanna put on that custom, that character. That's how these heathens are.
Read on.
And earrings in thy ears, and a beautiful crown upon thy head.
So this is how the Most High decked us out. He gave us earrings, he gave us bracelets, necklaces. We wore everything, man. So, you know, don't think that we were just living in huts and we was wearing sticks and twigs. That's how they paint us, because they don't want us to look like we're royal people. Remember, when the Europeans, when they came to Puerto Rico, they saw the kids playing with jewels. So it ain't like we were broke. You know what I mean? You gotta remember that. When they dig up artifacts and they dig up these things, man, they got jewelry that they'll never let you see.
Yeah.
Talk about chains, man, like
Real gold.
real gold.
That's what I was gonna say when it said in Exodus, it said take out the golden earrings. Like you can imagine that the gold they had on them.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't that, it wasn't that gold on a rope.
No, that Johnny the jeweler, wing.
Yeah, we had to put spray paint this 40 times with gold. It ain't that.
No, those pieces.
That's how I made a vow. I will not wear. You know how Christ made a vow?
Yeah,
He said, I will no longer drink with you into the kingdom.
yeah.
I made a vow. I will no longer wear gold if it's fake.
Hey,
No fake jewelry for
you
me.
have to realize at some point, you gotta stop capping, man.
No metal.
No iron, can't be wearing iron pieces.
I want to wear real jewelry that means something in the kingdom.
Hey,
But you know what? Look what happened. Fake gold stuff. There I go.
yeah, and just go to Deuteronomy 22:5. This is just to further edify, because Israel, one thing you gotta remember about Israel, man, we knew not to do these things. America broke us to where we don't remember anything. So we gotta come back and we gotta remember this, because, you know, there's masculine jewelry that women try to wear. You know what I mean? Like you see men, like a man ain't never supposed to have a belly button ring. A woman ain't even supposed to have a belly button ring. She's supposed to have that chain that goes around her midsection
There you go.
with the little jewel in the middle.
There you go.
But they're not supposed to be piercing themselves with that type of jewelry. That's not how we dealt. So for a man to have a tongue ring is defiled. For a man to have any type of ring outside of the one wrapped around
And think you hard. If you got a tongue ring and you think you hard, you got cats that like it's thugs with tongue rings. Like you can never kill me if you got a tongue ring. If I die by you, don't never have a memorial for me.
What you got?
What was the question?
The question is, the brother online was asking about earrings. He was asking, he basically kind of thought he had to take out his earrings, right?
Right.
And
Basically. That's
we're showing him that, no, you can keep your earrings.
So read that. This is Deuteronomy 22:5.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So that means that women, you can't be wearing these big, thick chains with a grill and like 2 pinky rings. That's too masculine, man. That's not something women ain't supposed to wear that. David had jewels in his teeth, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't see like Bathsheba didn't want to roll up with a grill. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Even women beautify themselves Even the nations knew that. Like, we ain't finna just rock this.
It's effeminate.
Yeah,
You're to that effeminate nature.
You got a big face watch. That's why they got men's watch and women's watches. That's why a man wearing a little bitty woman's watch, you look at him like he gay. His watch instantly, you see him wearing a woman's watch, they look like, oh, that's a girl's watch. That's
Right.
why you can see it. It's evident.
It's effeminate.
Yeah, it's effeminate. You
And
know?
he's not saying there's nothing wrong with wearing small watches. The scriptures are putting a determination to show us, don't try to dress like a woman. Like Rayon was saying that to me the other day. He was like, when you look at a guy, he's just all about his looks. He's doing his eyebrows. You know what I
Always in the mirror.
mean? Yeah, he's always in the mirror. He's like got tight pants on. You're like, you know this dude's gay.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Why? Because he's trying to pay too much attention to himself like a woman.
yeah. Tight jeans and chocolates.
Crazy hairstyles.
Right? He got crazy hairstyles and
Yeah.
like that's not necessary.
Muscle shirt, chocolates.
Yeah.
I love that. Chocolates.
And we had flavor, we had swag, but it just wasn't to the point to where it was like America. The effeminate, you start putting on the effeminate nature. You know, that weak nature that America has. So that's where the scriptures are going to separate us from that mind. Go ahead.
We don't.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So for all y'all that want to dress like women, want to wear women attire, and you're trying to get your body parts pierced up, and for all you women that want to walk around with that masculine personality and have that masculine clothing on with the masculine jewelry, you're an abomination to the Most High. You become a wicked and filthy act. So just remember that. You gotta know, if you're in the men's section shopping for something, then obviously it belongs to a man. And vice versa. If a man is off in the women's section to buy something, it's a woman's item. You can't stretch it and make it into a man's. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. And nowadays you gotta relook at the men.
Yeah.
Men
Rough.
men clothing. Cause it ain't cut the same. It ain't cut the same no more. You know, you get a pair of jeans, you gotta know, is it slim fit, boot cut, is it skinny jeans? How's it go? Skinny jeans, slim fit, yeah, boot cut, right? You gotta
Relax.
Relax.
relax fit, yeah, you gotta really,
Straight slim.
it ain't like it used to be. You know, and when we say it used to be, what, maybe not even about 8 years ago. But when this skinny jean thing came out, now you gotta really look at, you get a pair of pants thinking, oh yeah, these are fit.
Yeah.
And then boom, they're tight around your mix section like a woman,
So your
so.
thighs, you can pull your legs through, but your thighs won't. Now you got that thigh meat
Yeah,
rubbing together.
right. And if it accents your booty as a man,
Yeah.
you don't want those.
You're puckering in your jeans. It's not hot. Puckering is not masculine.
What else we got?
This is Numbers chapter 31, verse 50.
Numbers 31 verse 50.
Yeah, this is just to go directly to his question. It actually ties with Exodus 32 and 2, but read that.
Numbers 31, 50. And if y'all just tuned in, the brother asked about earrings. So we're just touching on those things, what we wore, what we didn't wear. We're seeing though, we wore it. A lot of people think that as Christians. Oh, you know what, you don't supposed to wear it. No, you wear it.
Matter of fact, just to show you how masculine it is, start at 48.
Where we at?
This is Numbers chapter 31, and you're going to start at verse 48, you're going to read down to 50.
Numbers chapter 31, verse 48. And the officers which were over thousands of the host, the captains of thousands and captains of hundreds, came near unto Moses.
So these are all masculine positions. To be an officer, you're a masculine. Captain, you're a masculine. So you're dealing with a masculine situation right here.
Right.
And they said unto Moses, Thy servants have taken the sum of the men of war which are under our charge, and there lacketh not one man of us.
Read.
We have therefore brought an oblation for the Lord, what every man hath gotten, of jewels of gold, chains, and bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord.
So you see that? These were men of valor that took everything they had and presented that to the Most High for an offering. So if it was a feminine thing, you believe anything that was close to Moses, anything that was dealing with Israel, it was not going to be a feminine situation where, you had these guys taking tongue rings out, gold tongue rings out, throwing it in the pile. Come on, man. Like, that's not Jesus. It's not Jesus.
That was a good one. Any other questions? Yeah.
This is back to Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
It says a man should not wear what pertains unto a woman. Of course a man isn't going to do that, but when it says a woman should not wear what pertains to the man, you know how sometimes a woman might wear your shirt?
No, it's talking about now I'm taking on this masculine spirit. You know what I mean? Now, if there's a problem with that, no, don't worry.
Okay.
Go to that. Remember, you gotta go to the law. You gotta be technical for people too. You know what I mean? That way they can get it. Because a lot of people, you got women that come in that are masculine. You might do that. Say, nah, don't even put on my shirt. Why? Because that's the demon honor. They got that masculine spirit. But think about it. She put on your t-shirt, she's in the house. That ain't her trying to take on the form of a man.
Right.
And walk around the streets and be masculine. Yeah.
I was going to say, so I guess that's an example of like us following the law to the letter instead of like.
Well, listen, the way a t-shirt is made, you got to know that, that could be a pajama shirt for her.
Mm-hmm.
It could be big in pajama shirt. So what is she taking on to it? I mean, it's common sense got to come in there too. I heard somebody else was saying this, but common sense got to come in there also. Like, once again, we know that a man can wear men clothing, but men clothing now are not men clothing. So you got to have common sense to know. You know what I mean? You're not gonna come in here with your butt out and with spandex on, talking about, oh, these are men spandex, brother.
These are
I'm following the law. We're gonna look at you like, come on, I did that. I bought them in the men's section. No, look at how they accent your booty, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't wear these. Don't come in with these. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have wisdom, common sense with it too. You see that?
Because, like you said, just with that spirit, if I may,
Yeah.
you see these lesbians, these bulldogs, or whatever they call them, they like to wear boxers. Because it's a form of masculinity. It's a mind thing with them. And it's like when you look at women, like if a woman stayed out of your house, and she didn't have nothing to sleep in, you would go in the room, get her a t-shirt, get out here, boo, you throw this on.
Right.
But if you stay with her, she's not going in the room and grab something for you to throw on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't work like that. She ain't coming out with no biggie hush hush, like, here, nigga, just throw this on. Like, it's not happening. But that's because by nature, you already know. Like, yo, even when the shirt, when she tried to give you a t-shirt, that's suspect. Looking at her like, you wore this where? Like, okay, I'll wear this. Since nobody gonna see, because we automatically, like you said, the common sense kicks in, and that masculine wall instantly picks itself up because it's in your nature to want things around you masculine. So
remember, the law is for the lawless. The law is for the ones that don't know. You know what I mean? Like us that understand the spirit of this, we comprehend it. You see that? So, but the technicality of it is for the ones, brothers and sisters, that have no idea, that like grew up in this age and they're like, well, I wore my sister's pajamas. Okay, brother, the law says not to do that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they thought it was nothing. They thought it was nothing.
Yeah.
See, we know better. You know what I mean? So common sense got to be engrafted in there also.
Yeah.
All right? Yes, sir. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Someone wants some scriptures where it says Christ died on a cross, or is the cross the tree?
Yeah. We'll get that real quick. I already see the officers, the soldiers getting the swords. So that's going to end it on his question, on the earrings question. All right, so make sure you note this on the YouTube, sis. We gotta make sure whatever questions we're answering, we note it on the YouTube, because we go through so good questions, and if it's not noted on YouTube, a lot of people are gonna ask the same questions that over and over again. So this is good questions. So, a little information. The Roman Empire crucified many people on crosses. Many people. So, this was a common thing back then. So, we as true believers are not like the Christians and the Catholic believe that the cross is something to be held up as a rejoicing. It was actually to mock him, to spit on him, to destroy him. So we don't wear the cross. Okay, but yes, it's in the Bible. Go ahead and read that.
I got Acts chapter 5 and verse 29 and 30.
Acts 5, 29 and 30. And what was the question again for everybody?
They wanted scriptures. The questions are very clear. Can I have scriptures where it says Christ died on a cross, or is it?
Or is the cross the tree?
Or is the cross a tree?
Or is the cross a tree? Right. So the cross is a tree. We gotta understand that, and we'll get that. The cross comes from a tree. It comes from wood. So Deuteronomy, where are you at now? Where you at?
I'm at Acts chapter 5 and 30.
Go ahead, read that.
This is Acts chapter 5, actually I'm starting at 29. Acts chapter 5 and 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
Mm-hmm.
The power of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom he slew and hanged on a tree.
Right. So the God of our fathers whom he slew and hanged on a what?
On a tree.
Right. So Christ was destroyed, killed on a tree that was in the form of a what?
Cross.
Christ. A cross. So yeah.
I got Galatians chapter 3 verse 13.
Curse. That's the one I want. Yeah. Go ahead, put that.
Galatians chapter 3 verse 13.
Right. Galatians 3 verse 13.
Christ.
So as we see, according to Acts, what was that? Acts what?
5 and 30.
So according to Acts 5 verse 30, the tree is a cross. The tree, the tree that he was hung on, it didn't say cross in that instance. It said tree. Because he was hung on a tree that was in the form of a cross. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 3 verse 13.
Wait. Let everybody get it. Tell me when y'all got it. Alright, and the first one you went to was what?
Acts chapter 5 and 30.
Acts 5 and 30. Alright, and then you're going to what?
Galatians chapter 3 verse 13.
Galatians 3 verse 13. Go ahead and read it.
Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law,
Mm-hmm.
being made a curse for us.
Right.
For it is written, cursed is every one that hangeth on a tree.
Right. So you see that? So that was the curse. Christ was hung on a tree. Right? And that was Galatians what?
Chapter 3 verse 13.
Right. Get the one in Deuteronomy that goes right with it.
Deuteronomy 21 and 23.
Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 23.
God.
Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 23.
Did y'all got it? Come on, we should hear y'all, man. Let me hear y'all. Y'all got it?
God.
There you go. That's what we want to hear. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
His body shall not remain all night upon the tree,
Mm-hmm.
but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God.
Right, so that's where Galatians 3 and 13 is quoting from. Y'all see that?
God.
As it is written, curses everyone that hang on a tree. He's quoting from Deuteronomy 21:23.
Then you go into that 1 Peter 2 and 24.
1 Peter 2 verse 24.
First Peter 2 and 24.
1 Peter? Hold on. No. Oh, right. Go ahead.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 24. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body.
So we already know who that is. That's Christ. Nobody else bared our sins for us. Nobody went through that pain for our sin but Christ. He bared that in his flesh for us. Read.
On the tree that we begin dead to sins.
So what did Christ he put on when he died for our sins?
On the tree.
There you go.
Right.
And then, go to Matthew's 27. Matthew's 27 and 30, well, that's kind of long. But Matthew's 27 and 32.
Let me grab one. Yeah.
I had another one, it was Acts 10 and 39.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna start at, this is Acts chapter 10 and verse 38.
So, I'm hoping we're answering this question. He wanted to know about the tree and the cross, right?
You wanted scriptures.
Right, so hopefully the scriptures are showing us that he was hung on a tree that was in the form of a cross. That's why they're saying that, because they know it's a tree. Where would it come from? A tree. Right, go ahead.
This is Acts chapter 10 and verse, I'm gonna start at 36.
Mm-hmm.
The word which the Most High sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Yahushua. He is Lord of all. That word I say ye know, which was published throughout all Judea and began from Galilee, after the baptism which John preached, how the Most High anointed Yahushua of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and with power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for the Most High was with him. And we are witness of all things which he did both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. Him God raised up the third day and showed him open.
Right. So we get that, right? Right. I mean, yeah.
Go to Matthew's 27 and verse 40.
Matthew chapter 27, verse 40.
Everybody got it? Read that.
Matthew chapter 27, verse 40. And said, Thou that destroyest the temple and buildest it in 3 days, save thyself.
So, as you know, this is them mocking Christ because this is actually going through the death of Christ when he's being put on the tree. But the another word for the tree is, keep reading.
If thou be the Son of God, come down from the cross.
You see that? So, once again, that cross was made from that wood, the same thing as that tree. So, all through the scriptures are referring to it as a tree, and it's also referring to it as the cross.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only scripture that say cross in Matthew? I mean,
No, there's a lot.
okay.
Yeah.
Probably what he wanted to know what the question about. He probably thinking it's a tree and he never seen where it said cross there.
Oh, where you said cross at?
Probably where he, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I threw that one out there. But then you go to,
You can go to John 19, 25.
John chapter 19, verse 25.
Right, sir, you know what, jump up to John 19 and 19.
John chapter 19, verse 19.
I mean, it's all through this whole chapter, but go ahead.
And Pilate wrote a title and put it on the cross. And the writing was, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. This title then read many of the Jews. For the place where Yahushua was crucified was near to the city. And it was written in Hebrew and Greek and Latin. Then said the chief priests of the Jews to Pilate.
Jump down to verse 25.
Verse 25. Now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother and his mother's sister.
Right, so y'all see that, right? I mean, it's showing us that Christ, he was on the cross. But that cross, we knew it was a tree in the form of a cross. Y'all got that?
God.
I mean, I think that should hit that point. That should knock that out the park right there. Any other questions on that? Anybody have anything on these questions? Hey, but look at the type of questions they got. That's why a lot of y'all can't be sleeping in class. Because a lot of people are going to ask you, well, why you wear earrings? Why you do this? So if you come ready, you're able, a lot of these questions that these brothers and sisters ask online, they're perfect for your arsenal to be able to go to the Bible and answer them. So y'all can't get like, oh yeah, I heard this question before. If you heard it before, you should be able to teach it then. You should be able to explain it. Y'all got that? So who had their hand raised? Yeah, sis.
So when it said that he is cursed if that is on a cross, what does that mean?
That means that was a curse for it to be hanged.
So for the Yahushua to be hanged, it was a curse. Well, yeah, it was a curse for him, but
Yeah.
it's not saying he was a curse though. It was saying it's a curse for you to be.
To hang on a tree.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but he went through that cursed state for Israel. We just read it, right? Him being a curse for us, right? Didn't we just read that?
Galatians 13.
Yeah, Galatians 3.
3:13. Galatians chapter 3, verse 13.
Right, Galatians 3, verse 13. Wait till they get it.
Con.
Tell me when y'all got it,
Con.
so we can move. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 3, verse 13. Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us.
Right, the curse of the law was that if you disobeyed it, you'd be put to death. So Christ never did it. He never disobeyed it, but he came and he bared that curse for us. And one of those curses was that curses he that hangs on a tree. So you see this, sis? All right. Anybody got any questions on that to add? Add to their question? What?
Well, it's not a comment. Well, it was just, when I read that the first time, I didn't even pick up that it said, curse. Well, I'll just read it. Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law.
Right.
So that didn't even register.
Right. That was the curse of the law. He redeemed us from, not the morality or righteousness of the law, but the curse. Yeah. This is another scripture you need to have in your ammo when we go over the law. For those people that say the law is done away with, right? Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next question. No more? All right. Does anybody got any questions in here? Except Kai.
This was regarding, like the apparel and the jewels and all that.
Yeah.
I watched this show called Arranged, and there's a Jewish couple on there, white Jews. And,
It's called Arranged?
yeah.
Okay.
It's called arranged marriages. But anyway, this couple was arranged, and she had to have a wig specifically made for her so that she could not show her hair in public. Only her real hair could be shown to her husband.
Okay.
So I was wondering, since they borrowed everything else from us, is that something that they borrowed from us?
You could have just got a scarf. You don't need to put on a whole, that's just another way of just covering your head up. I guess that's what they do. You don't read that in the scriptures though.
You know, she was like, and my Lord is coming, give me my wig.
Yeah, you don't see that. They do that in New York too. The Jewish women, some of them, they cut their head bald to try to fill the curse of Isaiah 3. And then they wear a wig to try to fit that curse. But they can't, because they can grow long hair with no problem. You know what I mean? So, yeah, nah, that's, you don't read about that in the scriptures about wigs and nothing like that. All right, any other questions? Yeah.
So is that supposed to be their lock there that they used on the side, you know, the men? They got that twirly thing like this?
Oh, the locks, that's supposed to be their locks. I guess.
That's supposed to be their locks.
You know what, I never asked a so-called Jew about that one.
Yeah, from what I heard, that's supposed to be their locks. That represents the locks.
Samson had?
Yes.
But he had 7.
Huh?
Samson had 7.
No.
That ain't no locks, that's a damn twist.
So
bro.
what you talking about? This is supposed to be their locks. That's why it's like.
Oh, that's how you know they're the Jews.
Yeah, because they wear the
Because they can do their hair in a twist.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Lamb's hair. They make
Like lamb's hair.
It's like lambs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they trip.
Alright, man, you gotta put shoes on this. Watch it, man, because if he steps on something, you know what I mean? He's gonna hurt himself, or as he gets sick up in here, you know, we ain't assured. I'm just messing with you. But he does, and he's, any other questions on any topic, anything? Anybody online? We'll give you all a few seconds. I just want to say, man, we brothers and sisters, we definitely trying to do some big things out there, man. Baton Rouge, the brothers and sisters were good spirited, man, and hopefully we'll be back there. You know, if they keep the zeal, they keep the fire. You know, it was a great trip. It was a great trip to go out there and teach them. A lot of brothers and sisters, but Dallas brothers and sisters out there are getting down. You know, ready and willing to listen, to learn. So, you know, when you got them calling and talking about, hey, y'all coming back down, that's good. That's a good thing. So, you know, we got a lot of things going, and a lot of brothers, you know, all the brothers here is, man, taking that burden on them. So any way y'all brothers and sisters that are not doing anything want to support, we would appreciate it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, because, you know, like the sister Tia out there, all she could offer up is a place to stay. That was a blessing. That was a blessing, because we definitely didn't have money for a hotel to stay 3 weeks. So that worked out. So, you know, we're trying to get back out there in Baton Rouge, but we need help. You know what I mean? We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. Brothers is holding down this school here. Brothers is making trips out to Dallas. You know what I mean? And nobody's giving us nothing. We're doing this. They're doing that with our own gas, our own money. You know what I mean? The Bonabas stood in the hotel out there, stood an extra day. So whatever you brothers and sisters that are constantly listening and constantly getting fed, you know, whatever you can give will help us. You know what I mean? We don't kick down the door for tithes and alms till you're ready and understand. You get in the knowledge, you get in the truth. But all those requirements by the Most High, we just don't, like Paul said, we just don't push it. Why? Because we know a lot of you brothers and sisters, a lot of people get funny when it comes to money. But those that are past that and understand that, you know, you're getting the knowledge, you're getting brothers that are consistent, you know what I mean, that are trying to be balanced with the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High, and not be maniacs. You know what I mean? Then support that. You know what I mean? You supported all the other madness out there in the world. You got to support that too. So, and the only reason I'm saying this is because we do need help. We need help. You know what I mean? You know, but what we need help with is just, you know, getting out there. You know, brother, sacrifice. You know what I mean? So we're doing it.
but we do need help. So if you're not doing anything, if you're saying, oh well, I can't do what they're doing, you know what I mean? The Most High haven't lit a fire in you to actually go out and street speak and pass out flyers. If you're not there yet, that's fine. Your time will come, but do something. Do something. Whether it's alms deeds, you know what I mean, tithes, whether it's getting books, you know, like the one brother's doing. You know what I mean? That's how you support. Because we get at that. A lot of people, well, do I gotta move out there to be in the truth? No. But how about us going out there? You know what I mean? We're ready to do it. We just need the backup. We need the support. The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. You know what I mean? So where are you laboring, and where are you saying, hey, I want to help out with this. I want to help out with that. You got to ask yourself that, you know, and let your own conscience convince you, not me, but we are asking that you do help. All right. So if that's it, no other questions? Okay. So Priest Lapiman's going to go into he's going to go into class. What are you going over tonight?
Drinking. We're going over drinking tonight.
Because this is another misconception that you can't drink.
That's what the churches do. I know going into churches, they like to shun people for drinking. They like to come off like you're doing some type of sin because you drink. You know, they come off with this church mentality. That's why it's so important to read the Bible. Instead of listening to Big Mama or the pastor that's smoking a cigarette, you gotta start asking God to answer your questions, and He'll answer them with the scriptures. Remember, we're all here to learn the Word of God. If we were learning the Word of men, then it'd be different. Then we wouldn't have to be here, because we can listen to the people out there. But when you're in the Bible tells you, hey, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. Mm-hmm. And you gotta start differentiating between men and God. Because God, there's ways to drink. You gotta understand how to drink. You gotta understand what to drink. You know what turns you into a wino? MD 2020. Thunderbird. Night Train. 211s. OE. What else? Yeah, Four Locos.
I mean, it's called local for a reason. You go local, Holmes.
Four Crazies? Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Oyo Malo.
Yeah, come on, man. And then you wonder,
what did you just say?
Oyo Malo. What is it? Evil Eye. Oyo Malo.
That's another drink?
It's the name of a beer, yeah. They come in green apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oyo Malo. Swear to God.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you expect any type of, how can you even respect yourself drinking things like that? Like 2 cans and have you in the bushes. You're just walking home just in the bushes. When you were a kid, you experimented. You know what I mean? I drunk some Crazy Horse. I drunk some of this. I drunk some of that. And as I got, the gin and this. But when you get older, you start to see that drinking is not about being drunk. Drinking is about relaxing your mind and your spirit. And like we're gonna go through the scriptures, you had instances where people drank. And you gotta remember, it's not bad. It's not bad because they keep telling you it's bad. Tell them to prove it.
Right.
If it's bad, prove it. Because that's the whole point of us being here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to John chapter 2 and verse 4. Because the King of all kings himself was at a party. And something happened to where he had to keep the party going. So if it was a bad thing, Jesus himself would have shut it down. So we're going to read and find out what the King of Kings had to say about there not being no wine at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
This is St. John chapter 2 and verse 4.
Everybody got it?
Got it.
All right. Read that.
Yahushua saith unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet.
Hold on, real quick.
St. John chapter 2 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Yahushua was there.
So this was the party. This was popping. You got Jesus' mom there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody there. You didn't dare be square. Everybody there. So this is a big thing right here. This is going down. Read.
And both Yahushua was called and his disciples to the marriage.
So everybody was there. It wasn't just something, off to the side. It wasn't like a little VIP thing going on. This was a marriage. And the disciples, everybody, who's to Christ, everybody is here. So this is something that's happening right now. And when it happens, it's going to happen in front of everybody. So this wasn't done in secret. This wasn't like, oh, yeah, we're going to do this over here so they can see it.
Right.
No, this was done in front of everybody.
Right, and then also you can see that, listen, the apostles were there, Christ was there. If it was wrong, then they wouldn't be there partaking in that.
There it is. Read.
Verse 3. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Yahushua said unto him, they have no wine.
So he's letting you know in this verse right here that wine was there. So we're going to read on. Read.
Yahushua said unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. His mother said unto servants, Whatsoever he saith unto you, do it. And there were set there 6 water pots of stone, after the manner of the purifying of Jews, containing 2 or 3 firkins apiece. Jesus said unto them, Fill the water pots with water. And they filled them up to the brim. And he said unto them, Draw out now and bear unto the governor of the feast. And they bare it. When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water, it was made wine.
So if this was a bad thing, why would Jesus condone this? Who is the church to try to convict you for doing something Jesus did? Jesus drank wine. So who are they to condemn you for doing something Jesus does? But that's what religion does. Religion tries to make you feel guilty. They try to make you feel bad. Number one, you don't study it. You don't read it. So what happens is you sit there and they play off your conscience, so you keep paying tithes.
Right.
So you keep trying to pay off this sin. Like, oh, I went to the club and turned up. I got to throw a 50 in there. So you end up feeding these lies to yourself because you got the church tell you that it's wrong. But Christ is showing you here, this is a banquet that he's at where there wasn't no wine. So he had to appease and said that he was dealing with the king, right? The governor. So he's dealing with the governor right now, and right now he just had to fill up the whole pitcher with water, all the way to the brim. So the governor is drawing this at the feast. So we're at verse 9 right now. Read.
When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water, it was made wine, and knew not whence it was. But the servants which drew the water knew.
You see that? This is a miracle. This is the first miracle. Christ turned water into wine. So if it was a bad thing, why would he use that as a starter? Like,
yeah, that'd be a wicked start.
Yeah, like right off the bat, I'm a sin. Come on, man. Like, but that's how. Remember, Satan has to use the truth with a lie. He'll tell you wine in the Bible, but then he'll turn around and tell you you can't drink it. See, that's why you have to study it, because he'll tell you, yeah, wine is in the Bible. Yeah, you're right. You can't drink wine. Oh, well, show me in the scriptures. So the first, for your notes, the first miracle that Christ did was turn water into wine, and he also was at a party. So for y'all to think that like we supposed to be like super square in the parties, Israel party, man. When you read in the scriptures, it talks about how we party for days, to where when we were partying, other people thought we were ready for war.
We just did it righteously.
Yeah.
That's the thing that now, like we said with wisdom earlier, we know that, first of all, these parties, these wicked clubs, you don't want to be all up in that. But it's okay to go to a jazz bar. It's okay to sit down and have a drink.
Yes, sir.
As long as you're not getting drunk, we're going to find out. As long as you're not falling over the place, punching people in the mouth, cursing people out, waking up, and then you realize, what did I do?
Yeah.
And we've all been there.
Yeah.
Lord knows, until we matured and understood that that's my problem. I don't understand what the Most High gave this for.
Remember, the Most High deals with balance. We got to be balanced in everything we do. That's what makes us God-like. The fact is we balance everything. We don't do anything over righteous or over wicked. We're balanced. So when you go out and get a glass of wine, know your limit. Same thing with food, same thing with sex, same thing with anything you touch. You have to have a balance to that. That's what, like they said, that's what keeps you, even the nations call it what, the yin, the yang?
The yin and the yang.
It's about balance. So we gotta remember that as we go through the scriptures and see, it's definitely about balance. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and verse 23.
Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ecclesiastes chapter 31, verse 23.
Give us a comment when y'all got it.
Time.
It's only two, so hold on.
Yeah.
Y'all got it?
Yes, sir. You can start at 21. You're gonna read down.
Ecclesiastes chapter 31, verse 21. And if thou hast been forced to eat,
No, 23.
verse 23. Whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping will be believed.
So just remember that how you carry yourself, the way you drink, that's how men see you. That's how they perceive you. Even with foods, how you eat, what you eat, the way you eat. Men look at that. So when you out in the street, when we all go out and we congregate and we go to the bar, and you like, hey, you got any MD 2020? You got any booze from them? Like, brother, no. We got a Crown Black, Ricky B.S.O.P. But man, I'll be up on that Christian Brothers. Like,
I mean, I would say this. He's not saying you can't drink the terrible stuff. Well, what he's trying to show you is that bring the standard up. And it's not, in Israel, because brother thinking, well, brother, I'm broke. Ain't no got no money for no damn Remy. So, but where when you're drinking these terrible drinks, which is probably like chemicals and then gasoline,
yeah,
where's that gonna get you?
yeah.
Drunk. What type of drunk?
Yeah, what type of
Hangover.
what type of mood is that gonna get you in?
Yeah.
That's why it's called what? When they refer to liquor, it's called what?
Spirits.
Spirits. So what type of spirit you gonna put on you? Thug life? You only live life once? Angry? You know what I mean? Crying? Emotional?
Yeah.
Suicidal.
Yeah.
Right, suicidal?
Because beer is a depressant. You know that, right? Beer makes you depressed. It puts that. That's why you see people get off work, first thing they do, they grab a beer and they sit there and they're like, another day. You drink these certain alcohols, man, they got spirits attached to them. Yeah.
Is it okay if sisters go out dancing and?
That's up to their husbands.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know what I mean? That's up to their husbands. Well, read that scripture one more time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 31, verse 23.
Go ahead.
Whose soul is liberal of his meat.
So liberal meaning if he's giving. You got this person that's giving, he's not greedy. Go ahead.
Men shall speak well of him.
Right, because he knows how to carry himself and he's good-hearted. He's giving. He's not greedy. Go ahead.
And the report of his good housekeeping will be believed.
Right, because now he's living the good example. So people are going to see his example. So this is what type of character is going to lead us into even when you start drinking. You got this man that is good, that's wholesome. How does he carry himself with his food and with his drink? Go ahead.
Verse 24. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur.
Right, because he's a niggard, he's greedy. That word right there, niggard means greedy. Right? Look it up. Look up niggard.
Because when a person's been doing too much of something, what do they act like? You see it all over. You see them in the streets, they got that certain brawlish, disrespectful body language that you standing in line, he's staring at you, he's got that drunken rage. Like, that's niggerism, man. We're not supposed to move like that.
See, yeah, it's not like what they call niggerism. It's what the word is. You know what I mean? When they refer to niggers, they looking at black people. But this is a character. It's like how we use the word. When we use the word, we're not referring to it as black people.
Right.
We're referring to it as a standard how you act, how you look.
Right.
So that's how the Bible uses it. So a niggard is a what?
A stingy or ungenerous person.
You see that? So a niggard is a stingy person. So this guy, you see these type of individuals, they're stingy, right? They're about themselves, right? They're not liberal.
Go ahead, read on.
Did you want me to read mine?
What you got?
I got a miser, a person meanly covetous.
Yeah, covetousness. That's it. That's good. I mean, the definition that he put was perfect.
Yeah.
It's stingy. Go ahead.
God. Ecclesiastes chapter 31, verse 24.
Uh-huh.
But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur, and the testimonies of his niggardness shall not be doubted of.
Right, because everybody's going to see that this guy is greedy. You know what I mean? Because they're going to look at him, they're going to look at his household and his family. So that's what standard he set forth.
Go ahead.
Verse 25. Show not thy valiantness in wine, for wine hath destroyed many.
And when we go through history, when you go through a lot of these scriptures, as we go through the scriptures, if you look at people just in general, a lot of people have fell off being alcoholics. And alcohol has destroyed a lot of our people. You look at Gad. Gad got their land took from him from alcohol. Right now today, you go on reservations, Gad is suffering, man. They're over here, let me show you how evil and wicked Esau is. They took Gad's land, right? They took everything from him. And then they made it where they live in a dry state. And then every guy they catch drinking, they give them a felony. You just took all their land, stuck them off into the woods somewhere, and the same luxuries that you get, they can't have. But because they have to they gotta go and make their alcohol, they gotta sneak, it has no tolerance. You know how certain alcohol is like 40%, 40 proof? These people are having to just put stuff together to try to make something that y'all drinking normally. You trying to make it a bad thing for a person to drink. How do you even explain that where you go 3 miles up the street and I can go get a beer, but I go with a reservation, I can't buy a beer at the store because this is restricted. But this is how they do us. This is how they do Israel, because they push these things on us to make us destroy ourselves. Because you want it so bad that when you get it, you overindulge in it. So
Read that one more time.
Verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Show not thy valiantness in wine.
Right, so now it's getting into that characteristic of when you're drinking, valiantness, what does that mean? Brave, raise your hand, like Quantazab did, but Khan, brave, what else?
That's what I was going to say.
Khan, what else? Brave, right? You want to be strong. That's when you think you're the most strong. You finesse.
that liquid courage.
It's called liquid courage. Yeah. So, read it one more time.
Verse 25. Show not thy valiantness in wine.
Right, so show not thy valiantness. So now it's getting into how to drink wine. When you drink wine, why would you show your valiantness and drinking wine?
That's what I
What?
said. Why would you?
Yeah, why?
Because you're drunk. Because you're drinking too much.
Yeah, let's get down a little more, yeah.
You are feeling yourself and you wanna.
Yeah, you feeling yourself. So why are you feeling yourself?
You're prideful when you're around your friends and you're like, oh man.
Why are you
so-
feeling yourself? What?
Because that wine brings down that.
There you go. Now, remember, we're talking about wine, right? We're talking about drinking. What type of spirit does liquor put on you? What?
It takes off those defenses, so you're able to.
There you go.
Start talking. You
Right.
Start saying things, doing things.
So when you know liquor, when you know wine, you gotta know that it's gonna bring that spirit on you. You know what I mean? You think you're faster when you're actually slower. You think you're stronger when you're actually weaker. Right? So now the spirit of the liquor, see, the Most High gives us knowledge and wisdom on how to deal with everything. Right? So when you deal with wine and you start drinking, know that this is the spirit that's gonna come out. show not thy valiantness. You don't want to show your braveness when you're drinking. That's the least time. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Verse 20, Slacky. For wine had destroyed many. The furnace proved.
It said, for wine have destroyed many.
So when you look at wine, when you look at drinking, when you mix it with humanity, what happens? It can bring down kings. You understand? It can bring down kings. Yeah, what's up?
I was gonna ask, so I guess you were finna get to why you wouldn't want to show it when you were drunk.
Huh?
I mean, why you wouldn't want to show all that when you're drunk?
Because that's why it destroys all those inhibitors that you think you're moving fast, but you're actually not. It's slowing you down, right? You know, it's to calm you. It's to relax you, right? It's not to make you strong. So you think that relaxedness, you get emboldened in this relaxedness when it actually is inhibiting you from thinking on point like you should, moving out as quick as you should. You see that? That's why it says driving under the influence, because you start to lose your perception, your outlook on things, your speed, your swiftness, you know, your thought process, right? You a minute behind, right? That's where the accidents come in, right? That's where you hurting somebody comes in. You think, oh, yeah, I got this, and you shoot somebody. Why? Because you're inhibited. What?
I was saying, you see it all the time on TV. When Esau, they get faded, they be like, I'm about to jump over this. And they get all riled up, and then they end up in the hole.
Right.
like I saw this one guy, he was faded, he was running through the hall, and he hit a plate glass and fell like 7 stories.
Ooh.
Because he couldn't tell the distance of the hallway from the glass.
Wow.
That's the whole point is, you get that bravery, now it turns to foolishness.
There you go.
So you went from bravery to foolishness. So it's a lot more harder to control when you under the influence of something.
Mm-hmm.
So read on, verse 26.
Verse 26. The furnace proveth the edge by dipping. So doth wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness.
And you know why they say that? Because just like when that water, when that sword is dipped, it's being cooled off, it's being tempered, it's being put in whatever situation is necessary for that to be proven. Wine shows what's in the man's heart. So when you are under that influence, you really say what's on your mind a lot of times. Because you're talking from the heart. And you know, a lot of people used to tell me this back in the day. I used to get faded and I would just say stuff in my sleep. And then when I wake up, they'd be like, yeah, you said this, this, and this. Well, that's because you're in your mind, you're thinking about these things, even though you won't say it. So you gotta be careful of the type of liquors you drink and how you drink. Because you'll pour out stuff you may not need. But it's about how you drink. Really?
Y'all know what it's for. Like when you with that lady,
Yeah.
you know that her guard is going to be put down. You know what I mean? See, this is the wisdom of the Bible. The wisdom of the Bible tells you what to deal with, what not to deal with. You see that? That's why we can't go through a class on what pills to pop and what not to. Why? Because we didn't mess with that. You see that? We didn't mess with drugs. We didn't mess with those things. Because Esau took all those things and turned them into evil. So you gotta even know, some liquors ain't even real liquor. Now, let's be clear. You had Kazakh Shatha, which is strong drink. So you got wine, but the Bible also tells you about strong drink. So, you know, a lot of people, well, see, you can drink wine, but you're not supposed to drink liquor. You can drink liquor too. It's okay. You know what I mean? But we drink, you know, when you go in a white man's house, when you go into Jay-Z's house, you think he got oldies? Or you think he's gonna have the best of the cognacs? The yaks, right? Yeah.
The thing is, wine and cognac are the same. It's just the way it's fermented.
There you go.
So it's the length of time and the way they do it. That's all it really is. It's all wine. It's all blood of the grape when you look at it.
Blood of the grape, yeah.
That's what makes things cheap, is it don't have no age to it.
That and the way and what they put it in, like Parmesan compared to like Remy.
Yeah.
I always say they aged Parmesan in popsicle stick barrels.
Yeah. They just fill it up.
But they put Remy and stuff in like good barrel, like nice oak wood,
barrels, yeah.
with flavor. That's all
Yes,
I,
sir.
you know.
Yeah.
We don't, verse 27.
They actually have these things at the fair, little barrels, where you can make your own. You remember that?
Yeah.
You can make your own, you ferment your own little wine.
You age it.
Yeah, you can age it.
That's
Yeah.
odd. Verse 27.
Verse 27. Wine is as good as life to a man, if it be drunk moderately.
You see that? Wine is a good thing when you use it the right way. When you had a hard day at work, you come home and you sit down, you got done counseling, you got your things done, you're doing everything that needs to be done. There ain't nothing wrong with getting you a glass of wine, sitting back and clearing your mind. You know, a lot of people are trying to make us feel bad, like we're supposed to be these robots, man. We're these biblical robots. Like, we got spirit, we got style. So for us, it's about working hard and being able to sit back and enjoy a glass of wine. There's nothing wrong with that. Read.
What life is then to a man that is without wine?
You see that? You ain't got nothing to ease you. That's torture. You know, like we know the word will always soothe us. But it ain't nothing like a glass of wine after you get done studying. You sit back, you throw some Chardonnay on, you know what I'm saying? Get you a nice tall glass of red wine. Sit back, reflect on what you need to take care of and how you need to take care of it. You know, when a man ain't got that, even rich folks, you know, they got these big, nice houses. They got that bar over there too. And when they tell you, oh, this has been aging for 50 years, you think that's special occasions. So you gotta remember, this ain't religion. This is all biblical. Hold on.
For it was made to make men glad.
Why? Because a lot of times we'll be going through something, you stop over one of the brother's house, like, what you got in the fridge? What you got in the fridge, man?
Mm-hmm.
I need something, man. I'm going through something. Then you can sit down, you can talk. It's not that drunkard. Yeah, I just got home. Punch me in the face. Like, that's not how we roll. We didn't roll like that. We sat back, we like, listen, what do you think it is? Oh, I think like this. Oh, I never looked at it like that. Yeah, bro. Oh, okay, well, listen, I'll see you in a while. Oh, yeah, how about you, man? Well, no, I gotta get carried to the car. I gotta have a ride. I gotta call Uber. I'm afraid. You feel it? I threw up in my mouth. Yeah, like, come on, man. That's how the nation. That's them at sororities and fraternity houses. That's them turning themselves upside down and taking a barrel and a hose and filling themselves up with liquor, and then like now they're pouring liquor inside their cavities.
That's us with no wisdom.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Anything we partake in, you said it best earlier. When it comes to food, when it comes to liquor, when it comes to a lot of things, we're extreme. We haven't created that balance in our life and know how to cherish these things. You know what I mean? I wish I understood drinking better. Then I probably could be drinking now. Now it's like I don't drink so much back in the days. It's like, you know what I mean? Because it's like I don't even want to drink. So, but understanding what drink is for, it would have been good in an older age to be able to sit down and be like, hey, you know, I want to take a sip of this. You know, but you mess your body up, you can't.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of our people do. They mess their body up and they overindulge.
When you see people that take their wine, they roll around and run through the floor, see how it sticks to the side, they smell it. You know what I mean? They savor it. But you know, wine or something, that's gone. They don't drink it like they ain't got no second chance.
They don't even taste it.
They don't even taste it. They hit their tonsils. Bah, that's it. Yeah. Come on, man, we gotta see, man. We had style, we had flavor. What on?
Verse 28. Wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart.
Why? Because the way you drink, how you carry yourself, there's a time and a place. The way you drink, you can't drink. Like, what's the point if I'm ready to kill? Why would I go to the liquor store? Because all I'm doing is letting that 40 Glock talk to me.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna get this nigga.
Yeah.
Gotta go. It ain't you, remember it. These are spirits. So when you're dealing with these spirits, you gotta know what and when. You can't be playing with it. That's why That's why these people, they get faded, next thing you know, they wake up in jail. They got a case. And they're in that situation because they didn't have no off switch. They didn't know when to drink. So read that again.
Verse 28, wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart.
So when you're drinking for the right occasions, it makes you feel good. Drinking in the wrong occasions, you get put in bad situations. You make bad decisions. So knowing when and how to drink is very important. Read.
And cheerfulness of the mind.
Why? Because you get that nice drink, man, it ain't nothing like payday, and you run off and go to the liquor store and you just stare at the shelf. You're like, man, what am I gonna get? I had a hard week. I got all, hey, everybody going to the house. You know what? Let me get a pint of, I'm gonna keep saying Remy, man. I got turned out, you know. Get some of that Remy and, you know, some limes. Go home, sit back, barbecue, sip, make you feel good, right?
But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind.
Because now you're overindulging in something, so Satan is here. See, when you're balanced, God's dealing with balance. God deals with balance. But when you start getting overboard, now you're getting into the flesh. So now you're tapping into Satan.
Now you're looking, when you step over that measure, you're usually doing and drinking to try to get out of something. Just like, once again, with food. You got some people that feel comfortable eating and they're antsy if they don't, you know, food makes you,
it's my comfort.
It's my comfort, but I'm not relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm not relaxed until I eat something. I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
You have spiritually now chosen that to be your God. Same thing with wine, liquor.
Yeah.
That's your God now. So it don't supposed to be like, well, how you dealing with your problems? It's me down. This is why I'm dealing with my issues. That's your God now. So it has to be measurably drunken. You know, you got to know, I'm going too far. Now this is becoming my lifestyle. You know, I'm dependent on this now. You know, and that's the problem with everything, is that why you got weak-minded people. You have now left, you first of all don't have a standard. You don't have anything to guide you. You don't understand that God is going to soothe he's your comforter, not the liquor. Y'all see that? So everything got to be measurably done, measurably drunken.
With brawling and quarreling. Verse 30. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool.
Read that verse 29 again. I want you to see something.
Verse 29. But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
With brawling and quarreling.
That's why you end up punching somebody and get punched. End up getting beat, get the brakes beat off you, or you end up in jail for thinking you're going to beat somebody and then you get choked out. You know what I'm saying? You getting yourself over to these spirits. I remember this like yesterday. I remember we was in a club, and my best friend was so faded, he just kept saying, I'm going to get that cat. And I'm looking at him like, bro, you so faded, like how do you expect to get this cat? So, no lie, man, as soon as the party was over, he ran up on him, but the way he moved was so slow, because he was faded, that the guy just like pushed his hand out the way, slapped him, picked him up, and slammed him, in all one movement. So now we all have to react to the situation, but that's what alcohol does. You over there drinking, and you get up like, you know what? I'm gonna show him, and you get up and you moving slow, and he looking at you like, man, he was like, get out of here. It was like, but that's what your mind tells you.
That's why the white man even tells you, don't drink and drive.
Yeah. Impaired.
You're impaired.
What you got?
No, I was gonna say, it slows your motor skills.
Yeah, exactly. Read on.
Verse 30. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend.
See, but the key point there is that shows you that liquor for a fool, he don't need to be drinking. Mm-hmm. Like, no, if you're hanging around a dummy, the one that don't got sense,
and he start drinking, you better beware.
Yeah.
Because why? He's gonna do the stupidest stuff. He's gonna get you killed. He's the one that gets you in the car like, watch, I'm gonna hit this 1,000 miles per hour. And then slam into a kid and the mom and kill everybody.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's already a fool.
Yeah.
Go ahead and add liquid courage to that, he's gonna kill himself and you and everybody in the car.
Yeah.
So the Spirit, this is what the Holy Spirit teaches us, moderation in drinking, moderation in everything.
It diminishes strength and maketh wounds.
You see that? it breaks down, it breaks you down, and then it makes you, it makes you look bad. At the end of the day, you got more problems than what you had from when you started.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, we've all had that situation for us men. We've all had that little heartbreak hotel thing going on where you drink, next thing you know, you show up at her crib. Now, she wasn't even that mad, but you had to know, like, oh, you ain't gonna open the door. So it's like that. The neighbors are like, yo, what are you doing? You're like, you know what? I kill everything on this block, and my boo don't come to the window. They see, man, you all locked up, put in a bad situation, choked out. Domestic violence, 50 feet charge, restraining order, all that. Why? Because you let the alcohol put you out there. Because you gotta understand, man, these are spirits.
Right.
They're putting spirits in you.
Can I get one?
Yes.
That you don't have on you?
Yes.
Go to Judith 13, verse 2. I'm trying to get the ones that you don't. You got them all, though. A lot of them. Go ahead, read that. Judith 13, verse 2.
Judith chapter 13 and verse 2.
Right. Wait till everybody.
It's in the Apocrypha.
Judith is in the Apocrypha.
Come.
Judith is in the Apocrypha.
After Tobit,
Yeah.
page 52.
You're going to read 2 and then jump to verse 8.
This is Judith chapter 13 and verse 2.
I'm going straight to the point. We ain't going over the story. Judith goes in there like a Hebrew Israelite woman. And what she do with this guy? Read this.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Judith was left alone in the tent.
Right, because he wanted Judith. She was so bad. When they seen her come out of the tent, they was like, wow. Basically, the women of Israel, they couldn't believe how beautiful we were. Go ahead.
And Holofernes, laying upon his bed, for he was filled with wine.
He was filled with what?
Wine.
He was filled with what?
Wine.
Go ahead, jump to verse 8.
Verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And she smote twice upon his neck with all her might.
Right.
And took away his head from him.
Right, so this woman waited for the opportunity time, because Holofernes thinking he was gonna what? It was going down for him, huh?
Yeah.
But Judas knew, and it was righteousness, because he was the king of, I forgot what king he was. Holofernes was the king of who? Does it tell you in the, it's slipped my mind right real quick. But he was the king of, Nebuchadnezzar? He was, I think he was a right-hand man, right? Nebuchadnezzar. So this cat, remember, you got a high elite general. And how did he get took out? He got took out by a woman and what? And wine. That chopped his head off. So this is what the Most High is showing you, that you got to be careful when you're sipping that wine, especially being a man. You around women, you around people you don't know. A woman too. You know what I mean? You're around men drinking, you're around, they giving you attention, and you know they're lying in the scriptures of the Spirit.
Yeah.
You get slipped a Mickey, and then what?
Yeah.
Wake up, your behind hurts. Wake up and you crying. Or wake up and not knowing what happened. That's the worst.
Wake up, get your strength took like Samson.
Exactly. So I just wanted to show you that you gotta be careful when you're drinking, man. You think you're courageous. You think you're on point, but actually you're slower. That's the only way this woman can come in and chop your head off. You gotta be out. You know how some brothers drink?
Yeah.
Like, you drink and You drink a little bit and you pass out,
Yeah.
but you did sleep, that's not good. Yeah.
In chapter 4, it says that Holofernes was the chief captain of the
Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah. So y'all see that, right? Go from there, go to First Esdras. And you're gonna go to chapter chapter 3. You already got this?
No.
Oh, okay. You're gonna go to First Esdras chapter 3. And you're gonna read,
Oh, yeah, I do got that.
you do? Okay, hold off on that. We'll wait till he goes there.
Yeah.
Alright, so go ahead.
Go to Psalm chapter 104, verse 15. Psalms 104 and 15.
Psalms chapter 104, verse 15.
Anyone, you got it?
Psalms chapter 104, verse 15.
Read.
And wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart.
You see, these are things that are good. These are good things. So you gotta remember that wine can make the heart glad. When you get you that wine, you know, you gotta remember, a lot of us are programmed to think things are bad. It's how you use it. If you're going, if you got suicidal thoughts, you do not want to go get no MD 2020. I'm telling you. But you go get you a nice little bottle or something, and you sit back after you done studied, you put your mind where it needs to be, and you sit back and you get you a nice glass or something, you laugh it off. You really will. You ain't got like, oh, it's tripping. Why? Because music has a spirit on it. When was that Saul? When he was going through what he was going through?
Yeah.
Music. A glass of wine, some music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times y'all don't realize the power of the spirit. Why does music and wine go together? Because it does one of two things. It either converts or perverts. One of the two. Either it's going to pervert you because you overindulged in it,
Right.
or it will convert you to what you wanted to do to something, and now you're changing your outlook because you see it ain't even that serious. So you gotta see, man, these spirits, they come together. Music and wine, they're coming together. You gotta be able to drink moderately. That's real self-control.
Right, and that's where we come in to understand what a God is. A God is controlling all these things that the Most High gave us.
Yes, sir.
What is good and what is bad. As you see, you can't go through the scriptures and read about crack, weed, pills, mollies, right? You can't read that. He's not, oh yeah, pop those, make sure you pop those mollies in moderation.
Yeah.
He's not doing that. This is the standard. The standard, your way out, you don't have to do drugs. Most of those drugs, if you just, like a lot of these pills, if you just drink wine, you know, a nice cup of wine, glass of wine, you know what I mean? I'm not saying all of them. We know, I'm not talking about the hallucinogens. But a lot of these drugs give you that slow down mind, that slow tempo, right? That's what liquor does. You don't need those drugs. You see that? Now, I'm not talking about the hallucinogens, because liquor don't make you hallucinate. You know what I mean? Unless you're a drunkard. You know what I mean? And then it gets you to that point where you got to swallow a whole bottle and you're hallucinating. But in moderation, that's what the Most High has given us. So He didn't leave us to where all we had to do was just sit there and drink orange juice and apple juice. He gave us wine. He gave us liquor. You said what?
Almond milk.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 16.
That's it on that. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 26. You're going to read through 28.
So where's that one you just went to?
That was Psalms 104 and 15.
Psalms 104, 15.
So we're going to find out some of the good things that the Most High created. And Matter of fact, you can start at verse 25.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning.
You see that God made evil from the beginning that was good for us. Wine from the beginning was good. You know, when you went to purchase that wine in the beginning, it was good.
Where are you at again?
Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 25.
Yeah. Y'all got that? Okay.
Read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners.
And that's why wine can be turned into something like a DUI, be taken a homicide,
right.
Crash, a death, you know, because you're taking the liberty of being able to be an adult, and go out and buy something that can cause your judgment to be impaired, and you're taking on, you're supposed to be responsible and say to yourself, I'm no liability. So when I'm at a party or I'm at a friend's house or whatever you're doing, when you're drinking, your spirit should always be first. Your flesh should never be able to influence the spirit to where, excuse me, now you're over here like, oh, yeah, give me two more, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's how you know what? In ignorance, that's how it was used.
Yeah.
That's how we drink. You know what I mean? You drink with no consideration. One thing I wish I would have knew, when you're young, you can drink a lot. And your tolerance is better because you got a fresh liver. So you can go there and you can drink a cup like this cup right here, and it can be half Hennessy, half Coke. Oh, the days.
Yes.
Right? It can be half Hennessy, half Coke, right? And you're young, you could take that and just boom, and it will hit you to what? Later on. See, I wish I was so, listen, you gotta sip slow. When you drink wine, when you drink liquor, sip slow, because it's gonna catch up to you. Then when it catches up to you, then you can feel it. But if you just take it all to the head, you're gonna fall on your face. And that's how the white man, that's how Esau does it. You know what I mean? They wanna go ahead and, like you said, the pool parties, the college, you know, they get you in there, man, drinking like a horse, and then next you know, you be passed out and being raped, taken advantage of.
They got liquor that you drink and it cuts up your liver.
Yeah.
So that the alcohol can soak itself into the liver. That's insane, man. Well,
Verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water.
so we're going through the principal things. The word principle, it means it's important. These are the most important, these are important things to a man. So these are the things that are necessary in a man's life. So we're gonna see if this was a bad thing that the church is talking about, then it don't, if it's in this list, then obviously it's good. Because if it wasn't in the list, if it was there, it's saying these are the things that are bad in a man's life.
Right, thou shalt not.
But it's showing you that these were created for men that have God-like minds, that know how to deal in moderation and balance. Read.
Are water, fire, iron.
So water can be misused, fire can be misused, and iron can be misused. You know, when water, you got, you know, you see it, it'll come through and wipe everything out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything out. If it's not water, if the water is not moderate, it'll tear everything around.
Yeah,
And if it's lacking, then things die.
Mm-hmm.
So, without fire,
They put the fluoride in it, right? Because they know that's the basis of man's life is water. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the drugs in it, the fluoride in it, right? That's gonna kill you. They use it wickedly. The wicked use everything wickedly.
God.
you know,
Fire.
fire. You got pyromaniacs. You got cats playing with fire. Can't go to sleep till you light something up. And it also keeps you warm at night. You know, it cooks our food. See, when you're a godly person, it's used for things that are good. Read on.
Iron.
So you got people, you know, the same thing that we drive to get to work is the same thing they use to come in the house and shoot you with. It cuts you down with, you know. Iron can be used for good or bad. It can be used for the support beams in the building, or they can be used as an atomic bomb to wipe out buildings. But the wicked, they use it for what they use it for. We already knew why we use these things. Read.
And salt,
Read.
flour of wheat,
Read.
honey.
Right, even salt. You say, well, how could you destroy salt? A lot of the salt they use is not good salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sea salt is good. So they use the bad salt that cuts up your. This salt that they use cuts up your what was it? Your arteries, right?
It's like ionized salt.
Yeah, the ionized salt, it's bad for you, man. You want to use the sea salt. But somehow, Esau found out how to give us the bad salt. Why? Because they're wicked. They probably try to cut corners. You know what I mean? Make it easy on them. It's bad for us. Too much salt.
Yep. Read on.
Honey, milk, and the blood of the grape.
There it is. God made the blood of the grape. He made the wine. He made the alcohol. But he didn't make it so you can use and abuse it. Even marijuana was used as a tea. It wasn't something took out of its natural contents. It was made for therapy, but like tobacco. When I remember my grandmother, when I got bit by ants, she took tobacco, she chewed it, she put it on the bite marks, and they stopped burning instantly. See, we already knew the things to use and what not to use.
Righteously.
Yeah, but the wicked, what do? They come up with a grow card and an excuse. Oh, I can smoke because I got glaucoma.
Yeah.
I got the headaches. No, you got demons on you. And you're justifying it with a paper that the white man gave you, which they got pills for everything, they got marijuana, they got everything for everything. Whatever you're going through, they got it in a pill. But you got to see, man, these things were good to the godly, but to the wicked, they the ones that changed it. Jump to verse 33.
Verse 33. All the works of the Lord are good.
You see that? Everything the Most High created was good. Drink, wine, food, salt, water, iron, clothing. Now clothing is being looked at as half naked. Most High, come on. He made us clothes, you made us hoes. You turned it into something that ain't got nothing to do with God. Now you got stretch pants on, and now the new thing is shirts with no bras. So they're in the mall running around with shirts with no bra. That's insane. But that's what the wicked do, because it's about that flesh. Read.
And he will give every needful thing in due season.
And that's why, if you notice, the Most High, He takes care of us. He gives us the things we need. If we're drinking, if we're doing these things, it says all the works of the Lord are good. And He will give needfully the things in due season. A lot of times, just like if you keep drinking, the Most High made this good. He was like, listen, when you come off work, boom, that's you sit back, you chill. If you keep misusing that, you know what happens? Next thing you know, you wrap around a tree. Because the Most High got some weights and balances in His hand. So He'll recompense to you what your result from how you dealt with this. That'll be your outcome. The Most High, like, listen, I got you. What you put out is what you get back. So if you become this drunkard, you become this.
It sounds awful, you too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just too close.
So, like I was saying, if you drink the right way, the Most High blesses that, man. It's not a bad thing. But if you run around here and you become an alcoholic, what happens? The Most High gives you over to that spirit. Next thing you know, you broke. You're losing your job. The people around you like, you got to stop drinking, Eddie. You stop drinking, Eddie. You're gonna now the family meeting. Why? He give you over in that due season. He'll give you over to your own desires. If you do not change, you got to remember we're supposed to be gods. Our brains are supposed to be balanced in things like this. We shouldn't be influenced by anything but the word.
All the nations, they misuse everything. You got to stop thinking like an American and understand like an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, a spiritual man, a spiritual woman.
Yep. Jump to Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 9.
So, listen, if y'all online, y'all got any questions on this, hit us up. Let us know. Y'all got any questions so far? These are straightforward, but you know what? Listen, y'all need this. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, I know how to drink. No, you don't. Because a lot of you use it for your problems. You know what I mean? To fix your problems. The Most High is going to be the only one that fixes your problem. And knowing this gives you the basic foundation of how when you dab in these pills or these drugs, or Esau gives you pills to take, if you understand about wine and you understand about liquor, then you're going to understand how to use those things. You understand? You don't use get a bunch of Tylenols and get a bunch of Robitussin and just pop them randomly. You use it for its purpose. And that's what the Bible brings things back to. Using things for their purpose and their order. See, so you might be thinking, oh, well, yeah, I understand that. Well, it's a little deeper. You got to understand that if you understand this concept about control and how to use this, then you will understand everything that's put before you. Y'all see that? To the good, it's used for good, but to the wicked, it's used for sin. Y'all see that?
God.
Y'all got that?
God.
Go ahead, Ak.
So, we got like 45 minutes, so I'm going to give you these scriptures, but I'm going to go through them so you can see them, but I'm going to break the scripture down for you because that's the point. But I want y'all to make sure y'all get these scriptures because this drinking is actually a breakdown, so you definitely want to get these scriptures. So go to Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 9.
This is Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 9.
So we're going to find out if the Most High is against wine, liquor, etc. Read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. And he shall weed the sheaf before the Lord, to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it, and ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf in a lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord.
Read.
And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil,
Read.
an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet Savior.
Read.
And the drink offering thereof,
The what?
the drink offering thereof,
So when you made wine, you made sure you took a nice special batch and gave that up for offering. So if it was something wrong about it, it wouldn't be in the scriptures. Remember, this is Leviticus. You're dealing with the laws right now. So one of the laws was when they were dealing in the offerings that they gave up drink offerings. So if this was a bad thing, the Most High wouldn't have had this put in here. Now, go to Exodus 22 and 29.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 29.
Oh, I think they not.
This is in Exodus.
Read that.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 29. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy white fruits and of thy liquors.
You see that? Is that liquor? ER?
Liquors.
Plural?
Where was that on?
Plural. Verse 29. Exodus chapter 22, verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy white fruits.
See that? Don't delay. I'm trying to play it. Don't bring that up here. That's what he said. Like, hurry up, bring that up here. Don't delay. Bring that up here. Bring that liquor up here. Offer that. You see, you got to see it's liquors. He had all kind of liquors. The white man didn't invent. I'm telling you, he didn't invent nothing. He did not invent nothing. So stop thinking just because they throw a commercial on like Swakwa, the freshest beer ever. Brewed in the mountains of. No, they didn't do that. We did that. All they did was steal the recipes and rerun it.
Ooh.
Everything they did was a rerun.
I was reading something about Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Jack Daniels is a white man,
Yeah.
but they were admitting that he stole a recipe from a slave.
Yeah. Come on, it's a lot of stuff. You know, I said something to a white man that blew his mind, and I don't know if I'm 199.9% accurate, but Harley Davidson is black. Like, everything
Wow.
the white man tried to proclaim as theirs. Think about it. Harley,
I think I heard that. Man. He's black.
He said, the scriptures say Jacob is the former of all things. So, you know, the black man, the Israelite man, we've come up with everything, and no doubt, they stole everything.
everything. Go to Genesis real quick. Go to Genesis 9 and 20.
I want to get the scripture before you switch. I want to get the one because they did give the drink offering,
Yes.
but the priests weren't allowed to drink while they're teaching.
Right. That was.
So I want to get that one real quick because as we're talking about the priesthood, why is that very important? Yeah, but that's one of the most important things you have to understand. As a young priest, that you couldn't get drunk, have a beer, and then come up on the podium and teach the word of the Most High. So I want to get that scripture, being that he, there's one in Ezekiel. You can get that one first, but I wanted to get the one in the law also. There's one in Exodus, but read the one in Ezekiel.
One second. Ezekiel 44
21.
and verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Ezekiel
Yeah.
44 and 21. Neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court.
Right. So you can read up a little bit though.
We're going to start. Those are like shaving heads.
Yeah, 40, read 18.
Ezekiel 44 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
They shall have linen bonnets upon their heads,
Mm-hmm.
and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causeth sweat.
Right.
And when they go forth into the utter court, even into the utter court to the people,
Right.
they shall put off their garments.
Right. So it's just showing you the standard of the priests that you couldn't just be sweaty. It was about cleanliness. See, it's a standard that we had. So from being sweaty as hell, I know brothers like, well, we were sweaty as hell. I mean, we was they didn't have air conditioning, but you know, see how strict they were back then according to the law. You couldn't just be up in there sweaty as hell. You have to switch clothes. Go ahead.
They shall put off their garments wherein they minister,
Right.
and lay them in the holy chambers.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall put on their garment, put on other garments.
Right.
And they shall not sanctify the people with their garments.
Right. You see that? They had to switch. Go ahead.
Neither shall they shave their heads, nor suffer their locks to grow long.
Right. So you had to have, your hair couldn't be too long, it couldn't be too short. It had to be the right size. Why? Because their hair, it couldn't get in the way of what they were doing. You know what I mean? Of the offering. Yeah, fall in the offering. Go ahead.
They shall only poll their heads.
Uh-huh.
Neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court.
So there's another one. I'm trying to find it. If I find it, I'll get it. But when the priests talk, when the priests teach, you don't supposed to be drunk. So if you know you teaching that day, oh boy, that was like 4 hours ago. Bruh, stay away from the liquor when it's your class day. A lot of brothers don't understand it. They think you can sit up there, and that's why we here. We don't have. You can't be learning sipping wine. You know what I mean? In the middle of class drinking, you can't do that. Y'all get that? Okay, I just wanted to get that because when he pointed out the offering, that you understood that they weren't going to be drinking and doing the work of the Most High. That was going to be for another time. Or whether they had to pour it out or save it. You understand? They weren't going to be drinking and drunk as hell doing the offering of the Most High. Y'all get that? Okay, go ahead.
So somebody give me Genesis 9 and 20, and then somebody else give me Hebrews 10 and 26.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 20.
Like I said, I'm going through these a little bit so we can get them, because definitely need it. So give me Genesis 9 and 20.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 20.
We'll find out who, if we got a couple people in the Bible that actually drank wine besides Christ. Read.
And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine.
You see that? So Noah planted a vineyard and he drank wine. So for those that think that that was just a fluke in the scriptures, that Christ, that only happened once, we always drank wine. Give me the Hebrews 10 and 26.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 26.
Yeah, somebody else give me Genesis 27 and verse 22. Read.
Hebrews 10 and 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we receive the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifices for sin, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation.
Hold on. I think I wrote it down. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can scratch that. My bad. I think I wrote it down wrong. Give me Genesis 27 and
22.
22.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 22. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.
So we're familiar with this story right now. This is when Rebecca and, remember when Jacob and the whole Jacob and Esau, the story where Esau traded his birthright off to Jacob, and Jacob went to go get the blessing from his father, Isaac. So we're finding out in this scripture here that Isaac actually drank wine as well. So read on.
Verse 23. And he discerned him not, because his hands were very hairy.
Verse 25.
Verse 25. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank.
You see that? There's that wine again. To show you that it's not a bad thing. We drink wine in celebrations. We drink wine to relax. We drink wine when it's just to chill. You got to see, man, the churches have been lying to you for so long that you keep thinking that because you're drinking wine, you're sinning. Like, that's insane. You got to read the scriptures, because the scriptures tell you. Our forefathers drank wine. Right. Go to 2 Samuel 16 and 1.
And let me get that one. You can write this one down. This goes with Ezekiel 44:21. This goes with that. This is Leviticus 10 and 9. And I'll read it real quick. But it goes with the Ezekiel 44:10, Ezekiel 44 and 21. But it says, do not drink wine. This is Leviticus 10 and 9. Do not drink wine, nor strong drink, nor thou, nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. So we it was serious, man. You weren't gonna just go ahead and mock the Most High. The Most High would be putting them to death if you didn't abide by that law. Because why? You're mocking. And also the spirit can't enter. Because now you're under the influence of this other entity, this other force. Y'all got that?
All right.
And then I want you to get 2 Samuel 16, 1 and 2, and then you get 1 Ezra 3 and 3.
2 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1.
Read that.
And when David was a little past the top of the hill, behold, Ziba, the servant of Mephibosheth, met him with a couple of asses saddled, and upon them 200 loaves of bread, and 100 bunches of raisins, and 100 of summer fruits, and a bottle of wine.
And there it is again. Just to show you it's not a bad thing. He's going, listen, you're dealing with David. So David he was right in the Most High's eyes. If the wine was an issue, it would have been brought out.
Right. All these patriots, man, is drinking. You know what I mean? So the Most High, they weren't law keepers and, righteous in the eyes of the Most High if they doing something wicked.
Exactly. But that's what you keep getting taught. You keep getting shown that. Give me that first Ezra 3.
This is our first Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Yes, sir.
And when they had eaten and drunken, and
now I want y'all to listen to this real quick because he's going to read it to get to the point, but I'm gonna let him read it all the way up to the point. So you're just going to read to the point. I'm gonna tell you where to jump, but verse 10 is kind of where it's going.
This is second Ezra, first Ezra 3 and 3. And when they had eaten and drunken, and being satisfied were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awake. Then 3 young men that were of the guard had kept the king's body, spake one to another, let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts.
So if you're familiar with this story, these 3 men are sitting up trying to figure out ways to get kudos from the king, King Darius. So they're coming up with almost like a riddle to ask, to try to play the king's mind, to see where his mind at, to get him to think, because if he looks at them a certain way, then they'll be considered wise. And then what he'll do is he'll bless them and give them garments and money and gold. So what they're doing right now is they're coming up with a riddle to ask the king in the morning when he wakes up. So I want you to jump down to the point, verse 10.
Verse 10. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women are the strongest.
So these are 3 things that were written. You got wine, women, and the king. So we're going to find out, according to what was written about wine, to find out why you're not supposed to drink that way. So I want you to jump down to verse, you can actually start at verse 17.
Verse 17. And he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then began the first who had spoken of the strength of wine. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine, that it causeth all men to err that drink it.
So one thing you got to remember is when you're drinking wine the wrong way, it causes a lot of problems. It causes you to err. Read.
Verse 19. It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one.
Why? Because when you think about it, when you're the king, you're actually the standard. You're the standard. But when you get drunk, you're no different than the fatherless, than the bastard child. You carry that same drunken, you're not you don't have no,
what his meaning is that it's showing us that, like, you get a higher ranking brother, he start drinking with you, he comes down to your level.
Mm-hmm.
So now, remember, it's gonna pull you down to that low level. Everybody's gonna be happy and joyous. He's not gonna be sitting over there like this. He's gonna be right? Why? Because he got that liquor in him. He got that wine, so it's gonna bring you down. Go ahead.
Of the bondman and of the free man.
Right.
Of the poor man and of the rich.
Right. And that party, when you get everybody in this party, nobody knows who got the BMW and the Benz out back, right? So they all leave that party. Right, but because everybody is drinking, everybody's having fun, it ain't about, oh, I got this much money, it's about let's have fun. So it kind of brings you down to everybody's level. Go ahead.
It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth.
Right, so like we were reading earlier, about the mind state you're set in and when you're drinking. That's the point of drinking. You know what I mean? You want to get things off your mind? You want to get joyful? That's what liquor is going to do, right? In moderation. Because once you reach that level to where you're drunk and you're falling and you're a drunkard, then it's what? It's sadness.
Yep.
It can turn on you. Go ahead.
So that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor death.
Right, so you're sitting there and he's going through his bowls, and next you know, the brother's with you and you be like, remember this? And then y'all talking about something totally different and having a great time. That's what wine's supposed to do. Go ahead.
And it maketh every heart rich.
Right.
So that a man remembereth neither king nor governor.
There you go. Go ahead.
And it maketh to speak all things by talents.
Right. Now you start in that liquor, you get wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You be like, listen, one fish, two fish. You know what I mean? Now you get wisdom. Right? You start to be more eloquent. Why? Because once again, for most people, isn't liquor a downer?
Yeah.
So it kind of slows things down. So it slows your mind down to think. You know what I mean? Then you can pontificate. You can pontificate, right? Is that the word?
You can only get that word in class.
You can do that, and then you sit there and you do what? You're talking about things and you're meditating on things more because it slows you down. Go ahead.
And it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor, and it maketh to speak all things by talents. And when they are in their cups, they forget their love, both to friends and brethren. And a little after draw out swords.
Right, so you gotta watch it. Because that turning, when it says in their cups, it tells you in Isaiah, when the cup is, when it's red, I think it says. When it says, don't wake up to the wine. Because that's why it says, when it's in their cups, you wake up now it's just, we're drinking, we're fading. There's no longer happiness. We went from happy to now we're finna kill each other. Right? So what level is that? You're not drinking it in moderation and control. Go ahead.
But when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done.
Yeah, then you wake up and you punch your best friend in the eye. You slept with this girl you weren't supposed to. You was with this guy you weren't supposed to. Why? Because you went out of moderation. So his point of saying this is who has more control? His was wine, right? His wisdom was wine. And it does. It does. It has a control if you let it, right? Go ahead.
O ye men, is not wine the strongest? That enforce to do less? And when he had so spoken, he held his peace.
Right. So y'all see that, right? So it's showing you, man, that wine has a power over you. But now, if you read these stories, it's wine, women, king, and then the last one speaks of truth. So we know that above all this, if you abide to the truth and the wisdom and knowledge, it shows you how to have power over these things. Wine, women, the king. Right? Y'all got that? All right.
So now I'm giving you the scriptures in the bad part of wine. So somebody give me Timothy 3 and verse 3. And another person give me Romans chapter 14, verse 21. Yes, sir. We need to get these quick, man. So, if you can write them down, go back, watch the show. But yeah, we need to get them out for them. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 3, and then Romans chapter 14, verse 21.
Romans chapter 14, verse 21.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 3.
Read.
Not given to wine, nor striker. 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work.
Stop. So one thing you gotta remember is, as you desire this office, there's a certain way you gotta carry yourself. And one of them is in verse 3, read it again.
Not given to wine.
That's one of the things you gotta remember as you come into this body of Christ is you should not be given to wine.
Yeah, if you're an alcoholic and every problem you got is solved by drinking, know that you lack discipline, you don't understand about Christ being your comforter, you don't understand, and to see, once again, this is wine, right? But relate that to everything. If you got a drug habit problem, how are you gonna be a priest? If you got an anger problem where you deal with all your anger by punching somebody in the face, how are you gonna be a priest? You understand? A lot of brothers don't understand that. They think just because you can break down revelations about Christ being black, that you can be a priest, and you still haven't stopped smoking, or you're a drunkard, or you popping pills, or you just ignore your problems. That's not the way. You can't do that. Y'all see that? Go ahead, so read it again.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. Not given
Romans 3 and 3?
So, 1 Timothy 3 and 3. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Not given to wine.
Uh-huh.
Not a striker. Not greedy of filthy lucre.
Right, because go ahead, no, you got it.
No, so that was the point because we're talking about the drinking, man. So as we were coming into this priesthood, you gotta watch how you carry yourself. You gotta watch the way you drink. Romans chapter 14, verse 21. Somebody else give me 1 Corinthians 6 and 9.
Romans chapter 14, verse 21.
Right.
It is good neither to eat flesh, nor to drink wine, nor anything whereby thy brother stumbleth.
You see that? A lot of us got that. We have that type of personality that we influence people and we don't even realize it. You know, if your drinking gonna cause another person to stumble, man, you gotta watch what you're doing. If all they see is you stop over here and get one of these, then that becomes to them your God.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll cause them to think like, well, he does those, I need to do this. I need an outlet too. So you end up causing the next man to stumble because you don't understand the liberty that you think you have is infecting somebody else. Give me that 1 Corinthians 6 and 9.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Read.
Be not deceived.
So don't be deceived. Just because you hide it, read.
Neither fornicators, nor adulterers, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards.
You see that?
Wow. That's powerful, bro.
Oh.
You gotta think about that. That's on the list of not making it into the kingdom.
Being a drunkard.
You think it's a weakness. Oh, you know what? I'm just sick. The white man tell you that. You know why you're sick? Because you haven't put God before. You haven't put God before these weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you're a drunkard is because you don't want to say, God is my strength. He's going to deliver me out of my issues and my problems. That's powerful right there.
Oh.
Think about how many people will look at that and be like, well, that's kind of insensitive. Drunk people are sick. Drunkards are sick. Nah.
That's a spirit.
Yeah, it's a disease. Yeah, like they have a disease, they need to be helped. Yeah, the disease is that they don't want to submit to Christ, they submit to that bottle. What's up?
Yeah, I wanted to say also, smoking weed is also considered being a drunkard too, you know, because you're high, you're under the
Yeah, there you go. You're high, you're under the influence. That's why all these things, that's why I said wine is the foundation. He's showing in the spirit that this is going to get you, if you can understand you got to have control over this, then you understand why these other drugs that you can't control. You see that? You pop one pill and you lose it. You stay away from that. Go ahead, Al.
Watch this. Go to, did you finish that?
Right.
Go to Proverbs 23 and verse 29 to 35. And somebody else give me Galatians 5, 19 through 21.
Proverbs 23
and 29. Read that.
Proverbs 23 and verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
who have woe, who have sorrow, who have contentions, who have battling, who have wounds without cause, who have redness of eyes, they that tarry long at the wine.
You see that?
Right.
The problems come from the way you carry yourself. You're a drunk. That's why you can't fix nothing. Because you're investing in the flesh. Every time it comes, we all got problems, but your problems comes because you don't have no balance. You're a drunk. As soon as it's time for you to, it's like you punch a clock. Boom, boom, I'm up. What are you going? I'm going to get a drink. That's where your problems is coming from. Read.
They that go to seek mixed wine.
You see that? You got people that want to mix drinks now. You ever see that dude in the club that just like grab everybody's cup? I'm going to take the brown with the black and the clear with the purple, and I'm going to take some Jello shots. And you're just a drunkard, man. You don't have you have no etiquette. You're just a buffoon.
Man, he's a nigger.
A nigger.
He's a nigger.
Read.
Look not thou upon the wine when it is red,
There you go. That's the one. Yeah.
Read.
when it giveth his color in the cup.
Right, when they start moving around, that liquor start moving around, man, this is real. You like,
It's not
talking. It's moving. You sitting there looking at it like this. You like,
See your basic conversation.
I'm saying, it's just swirling.
Right, that's your new friend.
Read on.
When it moveth itself aright. At the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder.
Right, right when you least expect it, now you're on your face. Bow, it just hit you. Why? Because you didn't pay attention to yourself. You didn't do this in moderation. Read.
Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things.
Why? Because you're under the influence. Now you're at the club and the penny looking like a dime. You're over there like, it don't matter. I just need to get me off. I'm just trying to cut.
And little did you know it was a man.
Yeah, you get her home.
It was a tranny.
Yeah, she in the car.
No, it's a woman, but it was a man.
Yeah.
Like transformed.
Super strong woman.
And you didn't know why, because you was faded, you was drunk.
Now you're in there with Sydney Starr.
Ooh.
Read on.
Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mist.
And you see that. What happens when you end up sick? You end up with that, when you're in the ocean, you know how that feels? You get that stomach, you get all throwing up, you get the feeling bad. Why? Because you didn't pay attention to the way it was moving in the cup. You didn't pay attention to your limit. You didn't see that you had limits. Read.
Verse 35.
Yes.
They have stricken me, shalt thou say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again.
So this is just to show you that the way you drink, how you carry yourself, it's important, man, because liquor, it'll lie to you. It'll build up false securities. It'll make you think you got the superpower. It'll make you think you're right. It'll make you think you're strong. It'll make you think you're in control. But it lies to you. When it stings, it hits like an otter and like a serpent. Where you at?
Galatians chapter 5, verse 19.
And somebody else give me Luke chapter 1, verse 15. And somebody else give me Luke chapter 21, verse 34. So read that.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest. Which are these?
So we're going to find out if you're in the flesh real quick.
Yeah, we'll go over that too. We got the brother Dominique, I think it is, S. He said, does the scripture speak on smoking marijuana? We've touched on that so many times. If you can find the link in there, sis, find the link, then we can send it to him. But yeah, bro, it tells you about herb, and it tells you what herb was given for, and we find out that how our people are using the herb is not the correct way. You know, you were never meant to smoke anything and to put it in your system that way. You know, the smoke itself, the process of burning it is not good for you. But we did use herbs for their purpose. But I have to find the link and we'll send that to you, brother.
Listen, jump up to verse 16 real quick.
I think that's a brother.
Verse 16?
Yes.
Verse 16. This I say then, Walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
So if you're walking in the spirit, you won't have to have any type of drugs or alcohol or pills or any of that to influence, because the spirit will influence you. It'll give you the strength and the mind state you need. Jump down to verse 19.
Verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, adultery, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies. Verse 21. Envyings, murders, drunkenness.
You see that? So
Wow.
that ain't the spirit. When you drunk, but you swear you got something deep, or you swear you're in the spirit, bro, you're drunk. You're drunk. When you're drunk, that's not you're in the flesh now. How you gonna be drunk and then you just finna drop something deep? Right. Come on, man. But that's what Satan does. It's like the marijuana and the rappers. Like, hold up, dog. I'm about to hit this and I'm coming hard. It's like, no, bro. That's where your mind. Every rapper swears they gotta get high to be a rapper. Like, I gotta go to the studio, I gotta pop that pill, get that pound, and I'm gonna come out in the morning with a platinum, man.
But that's why rap sounds like it is now, like they're on pills. What are you doing now? Coming at the mouth. Coming at the mouth. I mean, you don't know what I'm saying. I'm just focusing my words nice. And you're like, what the hell is it? It sounds like they're on the Xannies, bro.
Crazy.
That's how they do it. They like, listen to Future. He's like he's on the ground, just.
Yeah.
It's madness, man.
Look at that Luke 1:15.
Luke chapter 1, verse 15. For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink, and he shall be filled with the Holy Ghost, even from his mother's womb.
You see that? So you gotta remember, Christ is our example. So wine should never be an influence to us. We should never have to strong drink, wine, none of these things should influence us. Christ is supposed to influence us.
Right, now, where was that at?
Luke chapter 1, verse 15.
Right, now that was talking about John the Baptist. You know what I mean? And because we know Christ drank wine.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But John the Baptist, he didn't do that.
God.
You see that? So, you know, and when you vow the vow of Nazarite too, you don't drink wine, right? I think y'all went over that for Sabbath class.
Yes, sir.
I was listening in on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but is it lawful? Is it okay? We're finding out, yeah. But do it the right way. Not like an animal, not like a beast. Drink in moderation. And step, you know, I'm gonna say it again. It's okay to drink cheap wines and cheap stuff, but step your game up. That way you can feel what really drinking's about, and you can really enjoy what you're sipping on. You know what I mean? I don't want brothers and sisters to think it's unlawful, because you know they be like, brother, you can afford Remy, I can't. Try to, you know, little by little step your game up. You know, and you'll see when you taste the better wines, the better cognacs, it's more joyful instead of, I don't know, some of y'all, when you drink, don't your head hurt, your stomach, and depending on what you drink? Yeah, it's the cheap stuff.
The good stuff.
Yeah, you gotta drink the good stuff, man. Yeah. What's up, you know what? What about white? What is whiskey, not whiskey, vodka, what is that made out of?
Potatoes?
Vodka's made out of potatoes?
Oh.
I got you sick right there. Yeah, vodka. That's like, to me, that's like rubbing alcohol, man.
Huh.
Hey, I've drunk it. I know y'all drunk it before.
That's why they flavor it. That's why they.
You know what I mean? But that vodka, man, that's killer right there. You know, you gotta know what you're drinking, man. But go ahead. We got 8 minutes.
All right. Give me Titus 2 and 3.
Yeah, I wonder if YouTube got demons, man. When you go to YouTube, we're going over a class on drinking, and their promotion is alcohol detox.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy, huh? They try to make money off of everything you do.
Oh, of course.
So, alcohol detox. Some people need it. You know what I mean? If you can't do it with brothers, man, you're going to have to go to Esau and sit down there and lock yourself up. You know, you can do that too. You know, commit yourself.
Mhm.
You know, so you can detox. Some people need that, man.
Read that. That's Titus 2, verse 3.
Titus chapter 2, verse 3.
Start at verse 2.
Verse 2. That the aged men may be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, and peace.
So this is
Go ahead.
No, this is how men of experience, men that understand the work, are supposed to carry themselves. They got to be sober. We're their example, but you got to be an example. You got to be the one that volunteers your life and understands that people are watching, because we're the example. And then it goes into the sisters. Read verse 3.
The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
So there's a certain behavior y'all gotta have, man. Y'all can't be walking around with a 6-pack under your arm and a bottle of whiskey. That's crazy. Stumbling through the house, and then you like, slum. Like, no, that's masculine, man. Women gotta learn that when you wear that dress, you wear that head wrap, you're submitting yourself to the Most High and to the femininity of the truth. So it's not a punching of the clock where now you're out and you get to be a Viking. There's no what is it, warrior,
You're a barbarian.
warrior princess. Like, we don't have that. Like, what are you doing? Xena. Now you're Xena with a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? You're walking around here like a straight barbarian.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like, you gotta see, women don't carry themselves like that. Read.
Not false accusers,
Read.
not given to much
Y'all
wine,
gotta stop running off and hiding and getting beer and liquor and
Right.
like, that's not
Like,
woman.
if you gotta live life like that, rethink your life, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Where I gotta get drunk every time I'm around a brother or sister. You got spirits on you. That's why we gotta do a class on knowing that you're chosen and knowing you're not. You know why? Because a lot of people, man, you try to treat the truth like the world. Like, you know you're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? You're gonna do it, but you're gonna do it drunk or high. We get a lot of people like that off the street that they know the Spirit is convicting them, but at the same time they don't want to change those things about them and committing themselves to the Most High. They'd rather be drunk. So I gotta pop at the house. He's hitting it right on point. I gotta be at the house. I gotta go to the run of the car and then go take a few sips. Now I can deal with y'all. What type of life is that? You know what I mean? Don't do that. You know what I mean? Christ is supposed to be your comforter. He's supposed to be your waiting to exhale. He's supposed to be your, that breath where you say, okay, now I got it. You know, that's when you hear those scriptures. You hear hearty counsel and wisdom in the word. You know, not the liquor. Trust me, it's never going to solve it. After you get your little high, your little drunk, your little tipsy, and the pain is away, guess what happens after you lose that?
Come back worse.
Right, the pain, the suffering is still there. That mental disease only can be healed by the spiritual medicine. Y'all get that?
come.
So that's why we're going over this class, man. To show brothers and sisters, one, that it is lawful, it's okay for you to drink, but drink in moderation, and don't let liquor be your God. 3 minutes.
All right, give me Romans 13 and 12. You go read 13.
Romans chapter 13, verse 12 through 13. Romans chapter 13, verse 12. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
So, as you're paying attention to this, he's going to explain to you what the works of darkness is according to the scripture. So read that again.
Romans chapter 13, verse 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
So as we come into the truth, we're supposed to be casting off certain type of mind states and works that are considered dark to the Most High. Read.
And let us put on the armor of light.
Read.
Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness.
So drunkenness is a work of darkness. When you're a drunkard, you're under the darkness. That's not godly. Being drunk, walking around, that's not godly, man. You gotta remember this is us getting rid of the old man and putting on the new man. The new man is tempered. The new man is patient. The new man is balanced. The new man is focused. The new man is able to differentiate what is good to him and what is bad to him or her. So you got to remember this. As you continue to go through these scriptures, read for yourself. And you'll see what slot do you fall in. Are you from Ezekiel 44:21 down to 1 Ezra 3:3 through 24, or are you going into the good of it to understand that, oh, I can drink, but I got to drink with moderation. I got to know what to drink. There's nothing wrong with knowing how to drink, what to drink. You know, Google it. It'll tell you, like, listen, this is the effect of this alcohol. This is the effect of this alcohol. Mm-hmm. That way, when you decide what position you're in and what decision you need to make, you know what to drink with it.
Right. Yep.
So, I mean, with that, if you want, you can write these down and look them up for yourself. This is John chapter 2, 1 through 25, just goes through the whole turning the water into wine again. And then Romans 12 and 1. Yeah. That was John 2 and 1 through 25. Yeah. I just said that just went through because that's actually going back through, like I was going to reiterate some of the stuff to show that Christ drank the wine, but it's Romans 12 and 1, Matthew 5:13 through 16, and 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16 through 18.
All right, we'll give y'all a second, man, to see if any of y'all online got any other questions. Yes, sis.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16 through 18. Yeah, that's what we went over. That was the first scripture we went over, which was John chapter 2, 4 through 11. But I was just actually going to reiterate in that same story.
Listen, for just letting everybody know, remember, y'all online, we do have our school in San Antonio, Texas, okay? Yeah, we are doing works in other places too, you know, like we went to Baton Rouge and Dallas, but our school is out there in San Antonio, Texas too, so let brothers and sisters know that that, you know, if you do speak to somebody from San Antonio, we are having class out there, okay? So we just wanted to let brothers and sisters know that, and we do have our classes, of course, out here in H-Town, Houston. All right, so give them a second, see if anybody has any questions. Do we have any announcements or anything we're supposed to bring up?
Just once again a reminder that Saturday will be the food. We'll have that community feeding, right. Or, you know, feel free to stop by 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas. You can bring the kids, man. You know, family, come by, sit down, you know, talk. The sisters are definitely gonna be making food so that, you know, you guys can come see how we deal, and you might have questions you want to ask outside the line. That way you can, you know, get a chance to see how we operate and come by and talk. So that's this Saturday.
Right. Hopefully we weren't muffled. We weren't muffled the whole time. Said here, can you brothers do a lesson on avoiding porn? Yeah, we can do a lesson on that. It's just, remember, it's gonna go into kind of the same things, you know, knowing that, you know what, we'll touch on it. That's a good topic. We'll touch that. I don't think we've touched on that. So, does anybody have any questions? Anything? Any announcements? Any questions online?
There's one about when was water created?
When was water created? When you go to Genesis, one and 9.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place,
Mm-hmm.
and let the dry land appear.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas.
Mm-hmm.
And God saw that it was good.
Right.
And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind,
Mm-hmm.
whose seed is in itself, upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed
Mhm.
after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself,
Go ahead.
after his kind.
Mm-hmm.
And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
So the third day, the earth, the waters, the seas, the land, the earth, the trees. The Most High created all these things. Yeah.
I had an announcement, Faith.
Okay.
This is the kids' drive. We're doing a kids funding.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna ask on a weekly basis if anybody has any change or dollars that they wanna donate for the kids. We're trying to raise some money so that we could do an arts and crafts day with all of the kids.
Okay.
This will be kept here at the school, and you guys can just throw your change in there if you have anything.
Cool.
to spare.
Help out the kiddos, huh? All right. So y'all got that? I mean, this is for the kids. So like you said, anybody got anything, they can throw it in there. Any extra little change, car change, put it in there. It'll add up. All right. Any other announcements? No? All right. So with that, let's salute everybody online. Say shalom, y'all.
Shalom.